잘 살려줬거든요. 그래서 좁은 구역에서 띠아 공 깔아주면서 침묵 먹이는 콤보도 좋았고, 자 여기 한 번 더 하러 갑니다.
근데 결국에는 쇼이치한테 그 콤보가 좀 들어가주긴 해야 되거든요.
네. 자 빙결 들어간 상태에서 다시 한번 렌 실드 받고
근데
들어가는데요.
이렇게 좁게 서 있으면은 스위치 비약각이 깔끔하게 나오거든요.
그렇죠. 자 루빈을 먼저 자 현우 잡아내고 위쪽에서 지금 렌이 잡아냅니다. 이어서 이렇게 레슈까지 레슈까지.
네. 들어왔을 때 칼라가 궁극기 깔고 뭐 작살도 땡기고 강로도 쓰고 이렇게 억제를 해버리면 그냥 이제 얀과 엘레나 콤보에 당할 수밖에 없어지는 겁니다.
자 이거 쇼이치 이 스킬 빗나갔으니까 엘레나가 이니시 연 거거든요. 그래서 쇼이치 여기서 궁극기까지 일단 빼내는데 성공을 했고, 이러면은 생각보다 쏠쏠하게 상대편 궁극기 2개나 빼냈습니다. 지금 얼티메이트 궁이 2개가 없어요.
네, 오레이스 인천은 궁극기 안 빠졌거든요.
그렇죠. 이거 오레이스 인천 입장에서 할 말이 많아요. 자 여기서 들어가서 병 타이밍에 톱하고 스킬 돌렸는데 일단
와,
캐스터블은
근데
살았고,
그래도 깔끔하게 잘 뺀 건 잘 뺀 건데 그럼 라운드 3로 넘어갑니다.
그렇죠. 다시 한번 휴식하고 또다시 올리지 인천을 만나려 가는 얼티밋이고요. 그 사이에 지금 자리는 다시 한번 올리지 인천이 굳건하게 지키고 있습니다.
이거 얀과 엘레나 궁극기만 돌리면 돼요.
그렇죠. 이번에는 우리가 먼저 궁극기 소모한 거, 이번엔 우리 턴이다. 아 이거 쇼이치가 지금 궁극기가 없어서 이번에 대처가 좀 힘들 텐데요.
자 들어오는 철에 엘레나 이어서 죽은 분 다시 한번 깔리게 되고요. 자 세냥 도발 걸리고.
쇼이치 뭔가 할 수가 없죠. 자 하지만 여기서 조금만 더 버티면은 궁극기가 돌아요. 자 근데 금주구역 안에서
시간
싸워야 된다라는 게 이게
그렇습니다.
굉장히
자,
부담이
룰은
되거든요.
룰은 시간
6초,
없어요.
6초 남아있습니다.
이거 시간
그냥
없는 거
나가도 끝날 것
알아서
같은데요.
우리는 그냥 싸움 밖에서 할 거다라는 거를 지금 보여주는 것 같아요.
자 루비나 체크
좋아요.
메이트.
그리고 이게 에어본을 약간 렌이 위치를 예측해서 한번 띄운 다음에 변수를 만들어 보려고 했었지만 일단 맞지 않아가지고 그래서 일단 한 명만 손해를 봤었고요.
자 이쪽은 망나니 선수 쪽으로 강하게 들어갑니다. 스파클 첫 번째 길 가져가고 이어서 19 선수까지 한번 보나요?
네, 그래도 경남 스파클 클래식이 벌써부터 강세를 좀 보여주고 있네요. 자신감부터가 약간
이런 같이 뛰어들어가는 판단.
잠깐, 경쟁이 좀-
자신감, 이런 무빙부터가 독법이 다르잖아요.
오, 자 근데 지금 여기 얼티밋 있어가지고요.
이러면
자.
근데 얼티밋 또 사고 나거든요 이게.
자 일단 경남 스파클이 알토 선수 킬 가져갔습니다. 이어서 이쪽 철 선수 킬까지 경남 스파클이 충분히 볼 수 있는 상황인데요. 자 스칼렛 엠마 들어가서 자
저거까지
이어지는
잡고.
네.
또 이제 경남 좀 킬을 5킬 이상 챙겨 나가면서 순방을 할 수 있는 그런 그림 그릴 수 있었는데 이번에 템포 살짝 꺾인 거는 많이 아쉽습니다. 크레딧 쪽으로도 지금 많이 부족한 상황이고요.
그렇습니다. 자 이쪽 호텔은요 생명의 나무 경남 스파클이 먼저 손은 되겠는데 올레지 인천이 방해할 것 같거든요. 자 올레지 인천 들어옵니다.
근데 이 경남 스파클 조합은 탱커도 녹이는 조합이긴
그렇죠.
하기 때문에 조심하긴 조심해야 되는데 이거 스프린트
자, 루미네 쪽으로, 루미네 쪽으로.
너무 잘 들어가서 올레이스 인천도 이 기회를 좀 놓치고 싶지 않을 것 같거든요.
자 송아랑 먼저 잡아내고 페나까지 잡아내고 자 스칼렛 선수 혼자 남아 있는 올레지 인천입니다. 혹시 이거 쫓아갈까요? 쫓아갈까요?
엠마라서 저기서 벽만 넘어주면 되는데 아티팩트 쓰고
아티팩트
뭐가
쓰고
이거만 하면 돼요.
자 헤드버스는 현재 양궁장에 자리하고 있는데 근처에 탭세리도 함께하고 있고요.
자 이런 거 조심해야 돼요. 선빵 페이스는 다 나옵니다.
자 오른쪽은 얼티밋과 인사이터고요. 자 들어가는 피드의 에키온.
네, 결국 에키오는 그냥 적당히 무시하다가 이렇게 딱
잘
들어가서
맞춰놨거든요.
선빵 페이스의 엑펀치까지 연계한 다음에 그냥 돌격 앞으로
계속해서 따라가면 됩니다. 자 이거 현우를 한 방에 잡기는 좀 힘들기는 하거든요.
자 일단 먼저 잡아냈는데 자 그 이후 교전 이후에는
근데 이게 레니가 먼저
그렇죠.
잡히게 되면서 한다라는 거고, 결국에는 이제 퀸을 맞추거나 에어본을 맞춰 놔야만 이제 한방 쿠프를 좀 넣을 수 있는 아델라가 될 텐데, 자 지금 퀸 차있기 때문에 한번 들어가 보려는 거 같으세요?
자 연하의 니키 자 그리고 송아랑
와
퀸
이거 진짜 못 피하죠. 알아도 못 피해요.
그렇습니다. 자 프로모션 퀸 기절까지 들어가면서 셀린 잡아내는 인사이터고요. 자 그러면 이번에는 자 엠마 쪽으로 들어갑니다. 스칼렛 엠마.
경남 스파클 입장에서는 사실상 왜 안 뺐냐라고 생각해보면 결국 여기를 밀어내야 본인들이 공장 시야를 먹은 다음에 이쪽에 있는 병원 한 2,000대를 때려도 우리도 렌이 있고 우리도 힐하고 너네만 힐하는 게 아니기 때문에 계속 밀어냅니다.
그렇죠.
자 연하 기절 마치 상태에서 자 1대1 교환 니키와 치밤의 교환이 되어 있고요. 자 19선수 H가 지금 적습니다.
근데 저 파랑새를 두른 수아를 띠아 혼자서 상대하기가 생각보다 어렵거든요. 자 그런데 거리 조절 깔끔하고.
익스클루시브 싱크 잡아내고.
이거는 당구 선수까지 케어도 너무 깔끔해서. 자 수아 그런데
자
침묵 먹었고. 자 그리고 치우도 누르.
다시 한번 돈키호테 오디세이 만나니 수아가 잡으러 갑니다. 자 한 번 더 오디세이 다마 기억력까지 가. 야 이러면요 당구
진짜
살리는 걸 막을 수가 없네요.
또 알토 선수가 오늘 보여주는 폼이 이제 그런 건 좀 신경 쓰지 않는다 같기는 합니다만.
자, 절 들어갑니다. 마인 이어서 스프링트.
이거 주무 선수 스프링트를 깔끔하게 좀 센스 있게 썼어요. 도발 타이밍에 스프링트를 자신한테 걸어주면서 도발이 걸려서 가만히 있어야 되는데
근데 문제가 탭3가 궁극기가 하나도 안 빠졌어요.
그렇죠. 여기는 이제 유지력이 굉장히 좋기 때문에 아끼고 아끼다가 궁극기 써도 되거든요. 그리고 궁극기라고 해도 사실상 이제 제니의 궁극기밖에 이제 쿨타임이 긴 게 없어가지고 제니 궁극기만 적절한 타이밍에 쓰면 돼서 자 예열해주다가 천천히 들어가면 됩니다.
이거 그리고 레니가 약간 시간 채우기 약간 이런 배터리가 될 수도 있겠는데요.
그렇죠.
그렇죠.
이거 이 레니를 누가 막타 치는지도 봐야 돼요.
자, 도발 걸리면서 치유의 바람 사용되고요. 익스클루시브의 철
이거
마인.
가둬놓고 제니가 일방적으로 프리딜하는 구도가 나옵니다.
자, 일단 킬캐치 굉장히 중요한데 탭3가 1킬 가져가고요. 네, 결국엔 터미네이트 이러면요 알토 선수까지 잡아내고 탭3 10번째. 자, 이제 마지막 상대로 올웨즈 인천을 만나러 가야 합니다. 서로 필드킬은 10번째 킬까지 가진 동일한 상태에서 피해드에 에이콘이 휘젓고 있고요.
바로 파고 들었는데
상대방이 먼저 이 깔끔한 각을 주지 않겠다. 우리가 먼저 진영을 해집고 들어가겠다라는 거거든요.
그렇죠. 근데
오래
이러면
버텼는데
쇼이치 들어오는 거 궁극기 잘 깔았는데 쇼이치가
와
비약을
루미널 방금 진짜
루미널이.
말도 안 되는 비약가. 와 아니 이거 제니 궁극기를 안에 들어갔다가 제니 궁극기 터지기 직전에 비약으로 제니 궁극 바깥으로 빠졌다가 안으로 들어가는 그런 말도 안 되는 비약각을 보여줬어요.
아니 이게 정말 루미널 선수 쇼이치 잘하는 거 저희가 다 알잖아요.
네.
근데 여기서 더 잘할 수 있을까? 더 뭔가 고점이 쇼이치의 고점이 여기까지인가 더 끌어올릴 수 있는 고점이 있나? 이런 의문점이 계속 있었는데 그걸 그냥 시원하게 뚫어버렸습니다.
자, 이제 피해드 선수만 잡아내면요 13킬 1등입니다. 자, 올웨즈 인천 파이널에 가기 위한 이런 자 모습을 공고히 보여주고 있는데요. 자, 3대1 3대1이기 때문에 체크메이트 눈 앞이죠. 마무리하면서
그러니까 상대방 입장에서는 팔이 짧아서 뭔가 할 수 있는 게 없습니다.
자, 요번 쇼이치가 사이에 좀 낄 수 있는 상태입니다만은 자, 올티밋과
아니,
경남
얼티밋까지?
스타클 자, 루미널은
근데 거기가 쏙 빠져나가는
유연하게
분위기죠.
감사합니다.
상당히
좀 지나갈게요.
유연하게 예 자신은 빠져나갔고 오히려 얼티밋의 KSW가 잡히게 되고
아니?
와 여기서
아니
킬을 못 넣고요.
혼자예요. 아니 물론 이거 에스텔이
루미널.
있기 때문에 에스텔을 믿는
슈어
건데
오히려 들어옵니다. 오히려
아니
루미널. 자, 일단 헤이오스로 들어오고 자 이어서 하이퍼루프로 아르다까지 하면서 올레즈 인천 자 교전봅니다.
경남스파클도 우리가 뭐 누가 다운된 것도 아니고
마무리가 됐습니다.
여기도 이제 상자를 두고 좁은 지역이기 때문에 이러면은 유스티나도 나쁘지 않다라고 할 수 있을 만한
네.
자리긴 합니다.
자, 두 분 골목에서 탭3 그리고 경남 스파클
자, 들어왔고 마커스가
보내고요.
안쪽에도 휘젓고 있는데
자, 기적 실현 들어갑니다.
자 이러면 결국 에키온한테 많은 시선이 끌리면 안 돼요. 결국에 메인 딜러는 에키온이 아니라
그렇습니다.
나르비선입니다.
자, 먼저 유스티나 잡아내는 탭3 이어서 아르다까지 경남 스파클이고요.
진짜 빠졌을 때 그래도 됐네요.
오, 치범배가 갑자기 아마 하늘나리로 자 들어옵니다. 그린에프의 치범배.
이거 갈라놓는데 성공했거든요.
그렇죠.
아르다가 지금 따로 떨어져 있기 때문에
자, 이러면 헤드버트가
파란색 맞춰놨고 근데 깔끔하게 림무들 문으로 빠져나가주면서 범원이 모습을 피했습니다.
자, 여기서 치범배 다시 한번 들어가면서 자 하트 쪽으로 들어가는데 자,
그리고 이거
하트.
끝나고 나서 아르다가 너무 멀어서 와 업스레션을 맞춰놨어요.
자 이어서 치범배랑 교환됐습니다만은 자 레슈 선수의 엘레나가 HP가 정말 작습니다. 들어가서 잡아내는 자 근데 럼프리 매치 그쪽으로 가면요 올웨즈 인천이 바로 맞이해줍니다.
라우라 체력이 적고 이동이 빠졌으면
자.
이거 라우라가 위험한데요.
수학까지도 갈 수 있을까요? 일단은
근데 이걸
잠시만요.
또 나가는데
와클 순환으로
또 나가요.
살아갑니까?
살았고
진주의
궁극기
플립.
지금 폭 들어온
그렇죠.
난 뛰어나갈 거야.
오지 마세요.
그러면 인천도
그럼.
살짝 비상. 이거
아니,
루프
아니,
타고
아니.
나가야 되는데 루프에서 비상.
서로 아르다 이제 지금 아르다를 서로 가지고
엘레나
있거든요.
시간이 적어요.
이러면요 일단 자 서로 존중하면서 하이퍼를 타겠습니다. 그리고 이쪽은 얼티밋이 럼프 레벨즈를 발견했기 때문에
근데 여기서 싸움 길어지면은 아이까 루프를 못 탔던 인천이 갑자기
인천.
저 그치고요 깊은 곳에서 올라오거든요.
자
완전 사고 났어요.
럼프 레벨즈 한 명씩 정리가 되고 있습니다. 근데
이거는 또 쇼이치를 얼마나 잘 억제할 수 있느냐거든요.
근데 그래도
네.
마이가 없어서 원래는 이제 마이 때리다가 이제 치바메가 팔이 아파가지고 쇼이치까지 표창을 던지는데 이제 팔에 힘이 떨어져가지고 많이 못 던졌었는데 자 일단 마이가 없고 어느 정도 뭔가 돌파를 할 수 있는 여지는 좀 있습니다.
네.
그렇죠. 그리고 아까 전에는 사실 세라핀 선수가 레니로서 케어를 계속해서 잘해줘가지고 그 각이 나왔던 건데 이번에 최정 선수 이거 그린애플 들어오는 거 잘 막았어요. 자, 그래서 와 띠아 한 번에 W로 묶어내가지고 띠아 이제 진영 이탈 시켜버렸고 그럼 쇼이치가 이제 한번 날뛸 수 있습니다.
자,
야, 끝까지 뺐어요.
그렇죠.
그래서 알론소가 잘 버티면서 일단 개더린을 아껴놓긴 했는데
와 이거 아르나
진짜.
제대로 썼는데요.
최냥. 자, 그리고 세나핀과 함께 네, 루미널 들어가면요. 나머지 2명까지 잡아내고 올웨이즈처럼 이렇게. 자, 이러면요. 자, 엠마도 팀원과의 합류를 조금 도모해줘야 되겠고요. 들어갑니다.
이거 엠마
스파이럴.
패시브 한번 터트리고
오.
아티팩트 있어서 한 번 더 견뎌주면은 이거 페나 선수 살아나니까 에어본만 찍으면 킬인데 에어본이 일단은 나갔습니다.
그렇습니다. 이어서 소화랑 와 알토 그리고 자 빠져나가면서
알토.
여기서 일단 셀린 잡아내는 얼핏이고요.
자, 리스트라이크 1타 장전해놓고
오.
빠르게 치고 들어가는
생명
올킬에
공유로
이거 무슨
한턴 버텼는데 이제
무슨 일인가
끝났거든요.
이제 죽어요. 이제 죽지 않나요? 자 KW가 들어가면요.
그리고
그러면
리스트는
죽어가
이제-
밟으면 살 수 있어.
경기. 자 생명의 나무 채집했던 건 결국 철 선수의 엘레나였고
오 이거 그냥 들어가봐요.
성격으로 그냥
연결이 좀 잘 긁혀 있거든요. 그래서 에어본
와.
KW 잘 맞춰줬고 근데
거기에 맞춰서 구속의 사슬도 깔렸고
자 이어서 레스 선수의
이제는-
성격도 들어갑니다만은
한틱
알도
잡았는데 잡았어요.
자 이어서 3대 강도를 밀어내고
강로까지 조금 멀다고 느껴졌는데
그렇죠.
그냥 들어가서 이니시에이팅 걸리고
자 이쪽은 진주의 굴림이 들어가는 럼프 레벨즈 이어서
좋아, 이제
인사이터
와요.
자 연하 선수 뒤쪽 쫓아갑니다.
근데
이어서
빈결 걸리지 않았고
그렇죠.
자 그러면은 여기서 베어 선수가 자, 와륙해주면서 조금 더 뭔가 각을 볼 수 있나 싶은데
오디
상대방이 이게 폭딜이 아직 남아있거든요.
그렇습니다. 자 이어서 세이비 선수가 그래도 앞라인 잘 버텨주고 있는데
네, 그리고 윌리엄이랑 계속 또 때려줄 수도 있고 사거리도 어느 정도 좀 있고
그렇죠. 자 그래도 이거 라우라가 한번 보는 것 같거든요. 라우라 궁극기 들어있어서 만약에 상대방 모여있으면은 라우라 궁각을 한번 제대로 보려는 것 같은데
자
일단 빠져나가는 데만 사용이 됐습니다.
그렇죠. 1대2로 나뉘어져
끝난 것
있다가
같은데요.
자 베어 선수 들어오고 뒤쪽에서 지금 수아랑 비앙카도 들어오고 있거든요.
자, 곧
자.
있으면 비앙카 궁극기가 또 돌아옵니다.
아 이거
그렇습니다.
급한 두 팀이기 때문에 이 두 팀이 그냥 놔줄 수가 없는 거예요. 서로 어떻게든 키를 먹어야겠다는데 서로 그 각도 안 줍니다.
여기서
자 그래서
승부는
여기서
자
잡았고
엘레나 교환.
이제
자
교환.
자, 원아웃.
이어서 근데
뭐
베어
좋아요,
살아갈 수 있을까요? 진짜 같은 수아기 때문에 네.
팀메이트도 혈액 샘플 이게 나왔거든요.
네.
자, 그래서 일단 혈액 샘플 가지고 있는 밸류를 갖고 있는 팀들은 도전 안 피하죠.
큐일타 채워놨는데 와 그래도 일단 거리 조절 잘해주면서 빠져나갔지만 토퍼브 기술로 한턴 버텼고 캐시 W
이거 얀이 진짜 무력하게 터져버렸어요.
자 이어서 나가야 되는 상황이 왔기 때문에 일단 럼프 레벨즈 6킬 6번째 킬. 자 이거 모릅니다. 럼프 레벨즈
네.
모릅니다. 예. 자
이거-
일단은 맞춰놓고
이게 얀도
예고장?
사실 장전해놓고 블링크 막 쓰면서 갑자기 확 들어가서 이니시에이팅 거는 거에 반응을 하면 되는데 사실 반응을 여태까지 못해서 터졌던 장면들이 많이 있었거든요.
오 이거 터집니다.
마이너스.
이거 터져요.
마이너스가 좀 나오는데
네.
스프링트랩 한 방으로 정말 많은 걸 무너뜨렸네요.
자 이어서 이쪽 탭3와 인사이터.
아, 일단
자,
제니가 스피드를 넣어주고는 있어요.
그렇습니다.
에피온도 너무 잘 버텨줬고요. 이러면 인사이터 입장에서 전선이 밀릴 수밖에 없습니다.
뒤쪽으로 빠져나가는데요. 자 절 쪽으로 빠지고 있는 인사이터 쫓아가고 있는 탭3. 자 이러면
전에게 마무리가 되어가고 있고
자 19선수의 HP도 굉장히 좋고 자 망나니 선수의 수아도 지금 좋지 않은 상태에서 나르빅 선수의 제니가 뒤쫓고 있습니다.
그렇습니다. 이거 사실 탑3는 계속해서 체력 채우면서 끝까지 따라갈 수 있거든요.
자 그런데 연하 선수 윌리엄 매혹 들어갈 시콕 쉽지 않습니다. 오 중매보도가 잘
오.
들어갔는데 너무 예쁘게 들어갔는데 그런데
잘 버텼고요.
뒤에서 막나니가
오,
와요.
잠깐만요. 이거 약간 와 이걸 이렇게까지 극한으로 빨아들여서 이득을 보나요?
인사이터 이거
진짜?
피해도 잡아내나요? 자 그런데 일단은 자 에큐이고 자 이쪽은 3대3 교전입니다. 레드그린 옐로우와 올웨이즈 인천.
아, 이거 많이 나왔던 구도라서 결국에 마이를 때리다가 치바메가 힘을 못 쓰고 결국에는 쇼이치한테 정리당하는 그림 많이 나왔었거든요. 자, 그래서 치바메 마크 잘해주고 있는데 마이가
이번에
잡았어요.
누웠어요 이거.
치바메 살고
이어가 손방 이후에 궁극기까지 너무 깔끔하게 넣었기 때문에 이번엔 잡았습니다.
와.
자, 세다핀까지
옆에까지.
잡아냈죠.
이거 유지력 교전에서 그리고 파랑새를 쓸 수 있는 수아가 있다라는 점에서 아까 전에도 보셨겠지만 자 이거 띠아가 수아 상대하기 쉽지 않아요.
그렇죠. 그리고 이제 츠바메한테
들어가는
실명권을
자
얻고.
들어가서
자, 삼격으로 들어가서.
이거 지금 빈결과 깔끔하게 나오거든요. 띠아 공이 긁었는데 자
자,
피했고 자 여기서 이 엘레나가
안 죽기만 하면,
나온 다음에
안 다운되기만
수아가
하면.
내줘야 되는데 칼치
근데 위에서 영만 선수가 살았고
그렇죠.
이러면
띠아는 살아있습니다.
잠시만요. 인원수 차이가 날 수밖에
자,
없는데요.
2대 3인데 자, 이러면 인사이토. 자, 이 불리한 인원 구도 어떻게 해결할까요?
사실 정비하기 전에 어떻게든 나가서
그렇습니다.
밀어야 됐는데 이미 잘 빠져나가고 정비를 하고 있는 턴이라서 인사이터가 여기서 킬을 하나라도 더 먹고 가는 거 아니면은
자, 쉽지 않은 싸움.
자, 일단
하지만
하나라도-
끝까지 봐야 돼. 게더링 필드 이어지면서 잡아내.
이거
잡아.
윌리엄 공 좀만 버티면 돼요. 좀만
근데
버티면 윌리엄 공 자 뒤에서 알아서 잡아주고
자 공간이
막간이.
잠깐만.
튀면서 한방
상대
대박
지붕이 맞았어요.
대박.
자 큐스킬 장전이 되어 있고 자 여기서
연말.
기절.
와.
자 시간이 조금
와인도.
더 많습니다. 연아 시간이 조금 더 많아요.
아니, 이게 이렇게 된다고요? 이게
그리고
이렇게
카메라가
된다고요?
깔려 있어서
예?
공도 모아놨고
그렇죠. 스택 쌓았고요. 자, 연아 그리고 영만의 1대1입니다.
이거 시간 승할
이겨야 갑니다.
자, 몇 초죠, 몇 초죠?
약간
몰라.
그 생각 있는 것 같거든요.
30초.
여기서 내가 시간이 더 많네 해볼 만해요.
근데 이거
자,
알까요?
모릅니다. 선수 서로 안 보이지만
자,
7초,
이거
6초.
맞으면 안 돼요. 6, 5,
5
4.
블링크. 인사이트.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back for joining us to the Eternal Masters. What did I say? Eternal Masters? Eternal Return Masters Season 6 Phase number 2. We are at the final day of Phase number 2. It has been a long ride, but we are at the last day. Welcome back to the final stage. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Shuvi. I'll be one of your casters for today. And along to my right, of course, is going to be the best work husband, Superior.
Yo, how's it
Yo.
going? How's it going? I
Yo.
am so excited, Shuvi. We are down to our top 8, so it's all going to come down to this. These teams are going to have to fight tooth and nail to make it, or to get as much placement as possible, so they could get as much circuit points as possible to try to make it into the season finals happening in about, I think it's about 3 weeks from now. So
Yeah, it's not that much time left, ladies and gentlemen. We are genuinely towards the end game. I talked about how we are towards the end of phase number phase number 2, but we're almost done with the season when it comes to competitive for Eternal Return Masters. You can take a look at which teams are going to be playing today. Look at that miracle run. We've been talking about it. Oh, hell yeah, baby. Always in Chun, from the beginning to the end, they are here. The reckoning has begun. The question is, can it actually be finished? All teams from knockout stage number 6 that were top 4, joining us with the teams that were first place in the group stages. Today is checkpoint system, ladies and gentlemen. Even we don't know how many games there are going to be.
yeah, could be 6, could be 7, could be 8, could even be 9 or 10. You know, we have had a checkpoint series go up to 10 games before, but it's pretty unlikely. But you know, I'm just hoping for an average type of day. You know, 8 games is usually the average amount I think we have for these checkpoint series. 8 or 7 to 8 is usually where, you know, 4 or 5 teams get into that checkpoint breakpoint, and then, you know, it's a little hard for, you know, the teams that aren't in there to try to shut them down. But we've had those those golden. I think we have had a golden round before where every single team was on checkpoint and it was just up to one team to close out the series.
Indeed. Oh my god. I wonder how much of a handshake moment we're going to see from some of these teams, right? Very, very good at doing that is some of these Korean teams. We've seen it before where you intentionally jump to a different zone. I think it was during phase number 1 specifically where we saw a team intentionally VLS into a separate zone and get the third party.
I think it was Innate. I think Innate got robbed one time. Like they were in Pond, I think, or I think it was Stream. And then Daeyoung Savage just had a great macro play, just jump padded in right into them, I think, right
before
as
the temp
the
zone
zone was, right before the temp was starting.
No.
And then they just died.
It wasn't
there was also another.
It was Gyeongnam Sparkles.
There was two different like handshakes, I think, in that series, which was phase 1. Yeah, there was one in Stream where it happened, and there was another one in Pond. I remember correctly. It was Auto Arms that was just. They were on checkpoint. They had zone control, and then they just jumped in right into, I think it was Sparkles. They jumped in right in the little crevice of. Oh no, Sparkles was on checkpoint, and Auto Arms jumped in right into that little crevice, in the where it's connecting Pond and Stream, and then Sparkles was just right in the middle of two teams, and then they couldn't really do anything. They got team dot, and we just got sent to another game.
Maybe it's also part of the reason why they ended up changing the final zone for Pond. That area was absolute hell, my friend. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a different story here today, obviously, because the teams that are playing are going to be a little bit more different, but the consequences and the results are still going to be the same, right? We still have our first place that's going to get a massive amount of circuit points. And if you are a team that is playing today, and I don't know what the metrics are looking like specifically, but if you weren't playing towards this area of the entirety of phase number 1, during phase number 1, if you weren't playing in this specific series, you're going to need to get as many circuit points as possible to put yourself in a good position going into the season finals. Because depending on how many circuit points you have, you're going to be placed into a specific bracket. This is obviously for most of you guys who know what goes on for Eternal Return Masters, this is all obvious for you. But for those of you guys who aren't, depending on how many circuit points you have, you get placed in a day 1, day 2 basis where the top 4 teams, top 4 teams, are going to get special admission into day number 2, right? So they're literally going to be playing the last day.
Yeah, immediately in the grand finals, basically, of the ERM finals. And then day number, or the next 6 teams, so if you're 5th to 10th, you will get placed in day number 1, and you'll get your ticket into the ERM finals. And for 11th and 12th, unfortunately, they don't get free admission. They still have to go through LCQ, but they don't have to go through the qualifiers for LCQ because LCQ qualifiers is a whole nother beast.
Indeed, there is a reason why it's called the last chance qualifiers, LCQ. My goodness, we've been talking about it pretty much. We've been singing it. We've been singing the praises of how devastating of a series that is, because we all know, you and I know, people in chat most likely know if you've been here before, because we emphasize that so many times. If you even keep track of it, right? Because we're only going to watch the LCQ finals here next weekend. The qualifiers are a different story. These are some crazy teams that are all vying to grab those last 2 spots going into the season finals super. It is going to be a wild ride. But today we are here for the final stages. Why don't we round it in to game number 1? Let's see what the character selections are going to look like. We are going in, my friend. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to jump straight into it here. I'm really excited to see these teams and what. Oh my. Is that a Hyunwoo for Effin Sejong there? And Kiara.
Oh boy.
Is that, I mean, we do see it all, like a lot of the times these players just lock in and then they just swap it up last second just to, try to throw off other people's games so they don't get, certain characters banned. We already have like 2 Arda picks here. Looks like 2 Alonzo, so maybe going to try preventing some bans. And we're actually going to go, Danana's actually going to go back onto the Alonzo and Arda. We're going to have 2 bans. I don't know if that's in, Effin Sejong's game plan to maybe try banning out some of these picks for these other teams. It's going to be that Alonzo ban and that Arda ban going to be coming through for game number 1. And 4 Arda picks. I mean, we know how strong a character like Arda is. especially in phase 2. I mean, even in phase 1 as well. Just these teams able to utilize, his kit to its fullest potential with the Nimrod's Gate in, so much poke, having that utility with the heal as well. Just such a great character all around.
I'm already seeing a lot of rock, paper, scissors between a lot of these team compositions, Super. We talked about the Carla shackling anchor up against Luminal. Obviously, he's going to be on the Shoichi. Arda's all over the place. Quite even when it comes to rock, paper, scissors. Most of the time, the Arda that tends to win is the one that actually starts the fight, right? Because most of his skills tend to be locked down unless you're going to be using the Papyrus. But if you're starting the fight with something like Nimrod's Gate, if you're starting the fight with something like the Dyson Cube combo, the moment you land it onto somebody, that typically tends to be the winner of the fight, just because you're getting all of your crowd control locked down at the beginning. Let's see how all of these Arda players are going to cope with each other, because we're going to go straight into game number 1, loaded into Lumia Island. First out of however the hell many games we're going to play today. Ladies and gentlemen, strap in.
Any predictions? How many games we're going to be playing today? I'm going to say 6. I think it's going to be a slightly shorter series for today.
I think so too, actually, because the basis on that is so many of these teams, especially the ones in the finals, were able to get to this point because during the group stages, they had so many picks during the earlier stages of the game, right? I definitely even think that 5 games might be possible today, just because maybe the point density of all of the teams might get crazy. We might have multiple teams in checkpoint by even like game 3, if I had to take a guess.
Game 3? I don't know about that one. I think maybe game 4, because game 4 is where game 4 starts to get to the point where there's multiple teams, and it is even kind of hard to get into checkpoint in game number 4. You have to basically average about maybe about 18 points per game. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see here, because going into game number 5, I think is more realistic. Where after game 4, there might be 2, maybe 3 teams. I mean, if there's one team dominating, we will have them in checkpoint in game number 4. But yeah, I don't think we've. I think the shortest series we've had, on the Korean side, is probably about 6 games. I think it was done by Mira Sejong.
Yeah, well, they're rebranded to FN Sejong now. They're sitting inside a cemetery, and it seems like we're gonna have a fun cemetery day tonight. Look at the minimap. What on earth are we watching at the moment? Ing9's gonna get taken down. Tazu also in a whole heap of trouble. He's gonna use the Nimrod gates to get away. The entirety of red, green, yellow inside the zone. The entirety of Freya inside the zone. The entirety of Mira and Sejong, FN Sejong inside the zone. The entirety of Ultimate in the zone. Like, what the hell is going on in this area, man?
There's Nimrod Gate again,
yeah,
but
now there's another
intercepted by red, green, yellow here. They're going to use the White Lily to bring Denana back in, and that's going to be Alonso going to go down. Jino trying to go in, trying to get some damage. There's the Estelle ult. They are going to be able to pick off Eon from Team Ultimate. And it looks like on the other side, the Arda's going to get caught by Green Apple. So a lot of picks going over to the side of Team Ultimate and to Team Gang NA. Both of them going to get 2 apiece. Red, green, yellow as well. Going to be on 2 kills. So a great start for some of these teams. Gotta rack up as many points as possible to get into that checkpoint breakpoint there. There's the engage from the Alonso with the Nimrod's Gate, but yeah, it looks like a great response here from red, green, yellow. A great pull from Alonso. I think they're going to get some damage down on this Chloe. It doesn't look like it. A lot of return damage. There's a triple hit on the full rainbow, but they're just going to focus the Tia down to 1 HP. Oh, it looks like Nina just completely died. I don't know if oh, the Soul Link was invested, but unfortunately Proline just letting Nina go there, and looks like, oh wow, Arda's actually going to be able to trade back onto the side of Team Red, Green, Yellow, and Alonso's going to go in. They're going to try looking for some more, as Proline is going to respawn. Having that level 7 respawn timer, going to be able to get back up really early, and it will be Team Freya going to be able to get the 1-up on Team Red, Green, Yellow.
It is actually insane. Some people still being level 7. Look at Team Dead and Cybers. They are all about level 9. Same thing for Team Ultimate. They're all level 9 over there. So while a bunch of these teams are spending their time fighting each other, all these skirmishes, yes, it's good. You get the points, you get the kills. It's great. But you're always going to run the risk of being dead for a certain period of time. And you can definitely tell that some of these teams are going to start falling further and behind. Taejon Cybers, Cadmus is level 10. We had a Alonso that was level 7.
On Johan as well, level 10. This guy just farmed up so much. You can see the credit counts as well from all these teams. You can see Taejon Cybers, about 350, 230 apiece, and then Team Freya, a team that was team fighting a lot. They're only about 190, so they just didn't get any farm, but they got that kills. It's kind of a trade-off for some of these teams here. It's going to be the Alina going to jump on in there. Charles going to get chunked down to 1 HP, but a great double knockup from KCW, and KCW just finds it, is able to kill Green Apple there. Alonso going to be forced to get on out of there as it looks like Tia's going to go down. Is Tia going to get frozen here? There's a double knock up and a great knock into the wall again. A great roundhouse kick from KCW. And wow, KCW just playing so well here, just able to find these knocks, able to find these knockups. Perfect engage from your Yan, and that's exactly what you want to see.
Max charisma, baby. There's another fight again on the eastern side of the map as Freya's gonna find Dina. They don't have an art on their side, and even if they did, I don't think it would have helped. Alonso was already on top of him. Good fight, good pick. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Another fight on the western side of the map. What on earth, man? FN Sejong trying to get positioning inside of Alley at the moment. Kyunggi and 8 looking for a fight. We will see the Himransuke going in. The Goomba Stomp from One Circle is there. Jino on the backside. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything.
No.
There it is. Auto attack is going to take him down. It was a pulse plasma gun. I think it was that to knock him down too. It might have just been a classic auto attack from One Circle, even without the Deccan's Draw auto attack. But in the end, just a 1-for-0 as we still see more fights happening around the map. I don't think we've had a single moment where our sword stopped going around. KCW will be able to pick up one. The turnaround up against Green Apple. It will happen. And do we finally get a time where swords are not going to flash? Let's see, Arda and Ava. Oh, it disappeared. We finally get a break.
KCW just playing out of his mind, able to get that knock up, able to finish the Subame there who overextended with their ultimate. I think thinking that they had the one up onto the Yan, but the Yan gets that roundhouse kick into the wall and then gets that chain CC, gonna be able to pick up that Subame. But I just want to talk about FN Sejong's usage of the Arda compared to other teams, just because I know usually we see the Arda for, you know, the dive team comp, but FN Sejong is playing the front to back, and what they're doing compared to the other teams, and I mean we have seen this from other teams as well, not just from FN Sejong, but with this Arda pick, they're basically just setting the Alonso in, they're setting the tank in, letting the tank do his thing, because Alonso is a character that just has that damage reduction, he has that shield, right? So he's just able to block so much damage, and it just makes so much space for, you know, the front to back team to kind of navigate through that team fight. But oh no, it looks like Ignite is gonna get caught out here by team non-responsible. Non-responsible gonna be able to pick up a kill. So a lot of kills already for these teams. I think you're right. I think we might just have a short series on our hands. You know, if all these teams are just gonna get so many kills in the early game.
Yeah, I knew this was going to happen, right? One of the reasons as to why I also said it could theoretically be a short series is because a lot of the teams that are here right now were also teams during the group stages that were split farming at the beginning of day number 2 as well, right? A lot of teams are only split farming during night number 1 just because it's going to be more safe. It's going to also really lead to shorter death times and all that stuff. But a lot of the teams here I've seen pushing the split farming mechanic in day number 2, which means the punishments could be heavier, and we saw that. A bunch of picks during day number 2. A lot of teams are going to start grouping up now, obviously, because it's night number 2. We're going to start getting to the point where death timers are going to be abhorrently long, and you do need to start looking for team fights as well as calling in your items, but it might get a little bit weird. Chenyang on the backside trying to get a little bit of fight,
great.
But that's a lot of lockdown. Mojum is going to be able to kill Chenyang. Good kill onto the Mai, and I don't think Sluggy's going to be able to get out either. Springtrap is there, but it brings everybody with them. Cho should be able to lock that down, and we have a full team wipe. We have ourselves a full team wipe. Always Incheon, 1 kill are going to fall down. Team Freya on 6, and FN Sejong joining from the north side down. 3 kills on their hands. What a tragic end for Always Incheon, considering how chaotic this game was, and they were a team that kind of stayed out of it for the most part.
Yeah, Lumina unfortunately just runs straight into the hands of FN Sejong there, and that's going to be it. Always Incheon going to go down there. I thought it looked pretty good for Always Incheon. They had that spring trap onto the Chloe, but just way too much damage from the Chloe in return onto the Mod. The Mod, you know, doesn't have the auto blocks anymore. Not going to be able to tank that Chloe damage, so a little unfortunate for Team Always Incheon. They're going to have to bounce back in the next couple of games here, but because a 1-point game, you know, not a great start for them in the series. Yeah,
there's a possibility Luminol is telling another Shuichi player here that, you know, sometimes maybe Shuichi might not be the right idea. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I kid. FN Sejong looking for positioning up against Kyunggi in Nate. I do see an Alonso that has regular gloves at the moment. Where the hell is he going? Alright, Arda stuck in the middle of nowhere. Kazu's gonna have to blink themselves on out, but it's a third party coming in. Danana's stuck in a whole heap of trouble. It will be the Nimrod gate out. Everybody is just leaving. Did you see which Alonso was sitting on just regular glove?
The Alonso, I think what happened was they sent the Alonso in, but the Nana just waited very patiently and only pulled the trigger the second the Arda ended up using their gate to take it. So the Alonso followed him all the way down, but yeah, fortunately it just didn't work out for them. There was a 3P right in the zone there. Responsible actually going to be able to win this one out into the side of Team Ultimate, but I don't know if they got the Tree of Life. I think Team Ultimate might have been the one to pick that up. Yeah, it looks like the Arda did end up getting it. They ended up trading it over to him. So Team Ultimate did end up being the one to come out on top there, and they're actually go for the Elf Dress on the Arda there. I think the Arda should be on that Sentinels, so they could pop the Elf Dress. So a little different from these other Ardas in this lobby, because I think all the other Ardas are on the red sprite.
Yeah. And part of the reason why I'm really liking this as well is that, remember, Team Ultimate is not usually one. They can, and I've seen them do it before, to use the Nimrod's Gate to go in. They actually send Char all the way in. So what that means is everybody is actually going to be within range to consistently receive the shielding from Sentinel, from Arda. They're always going to be in range. So this is a great item pickup, I think, for Team Ultimate. Now they're starting to get the Mithrils. We should start seeing, I think that should be the, not the Tolarian, what is it? The Tindalos Monarch for the Arda, unless he already has it, in which case it could be the Legs of Steel. There's a lot of options that could happen. Team Ultimate looking for a fight up against Team Non-Responsible. Round 2 between these two teams. NXA in a little bit of trouble. Is going to get taken down before the full, before the Twins Rush actually comes through.
Down as
They're
well.
trying to kill the
Oh, he's able to live for so
KCW is
long.
going to be blinking on out of there. Oh, that's not good. Nulung's going to get taken down. I think this is going to be a minus 400. Yes, it is.
Yeah, great focus targeting there for Team Ultimate. They just have to kill, you know, Demo's their main damage dealer. Once the Demo goes down, there's not enough damage from the two tanks from Team Non-Responsible. So very well played from Team Ultimate, and great focusing from the Alina and the Yan and the Arda, you know, all just, you know, locking their CC together. There's really not much the Alina can do there. Tried to use their parry, but it just wasn't enough.
Is that the abandoned lab too? I think the credit lab is still open, so that's really unlucky for the side of Team Non-Responsible. They're gonna have to risk quite a lot coming out of that abandoned lab. Obviously, hyperlooping out is one thing, but at the same time, their credit count is just not looking the greatest.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little unfortunate. Oh, we might have a fight though between Team Gang Innates and Team Freya here. Team Freya just gonna grab the bears. I don't know if they want to take this fight. They should see them with that camera. But no, looks like Freya is just gonna get on out of there. Omega going over to the side of Team FN Sejong. They're gonna take the lab in as well. I think they're just gonna send one circle in to see what it is first, and maybe if it's a mutant lab, they're gonna send maybe one or two more people in. Looks like it was just the credit one, so probably just gonna let one circle deal with that with himself.
Whoa,
and oh no,
that's just what I was talking about with the risk.
Oh no, the Alina needs to get on out of here. Can the Alina get out? I don't know if they can.
Oh, they matrixed
they will.
it.
Yeah, looks like they'll just barely be able to get out of here, but they're gonna take so much timer, and they still don't have a safe spot to res. They can't really go up into Fire Station. There's another team up there. It's gonna be getting in Temple. The Alina should see the ping there, so maybe just gonna have to wait for the zone to reopen and then take their chances in the Fire Station.
You gotta be real careful walking through that little corridor. I think the Elena is walking up right. There's a little, there's a very little cubby where you can just walk straight past the camera on the bottom left side of Pond. I think the Elena should be okay for the time being, unless you walk straight into the team. I think that's where the problem is going to be. 40 seconds to go until day number 4 is going to begin. We still have one team that is remaining a rat. They still have way less credits than what they need in order to get everybody back. About 40 to 50 credits before they're going to be able to do that pretty reliably. But the problem is, you still got to get to a console, and they're about to do that now. It's a little too risky as there is a camera down over there.
Yeah, that's a pretty fresh camera.
Yeah,
actually, no, that's their camera, but yeah, that camera is someone else's, and it is going to be getting Innates. Oh no, gonna try getting the res here, but gonna be immediately stopped by the Estelle. And Estelle's just gonna watch the camera there. Another camera's gonna be placed down, but
look at the minimap.
It's not good. Freya has full zone control. They have the camera already active for this zone, so if they're gonna walk in, Freya will definitely see all of them up there. Looks like getting Innates, and it was Team Daeyoung Cybers. They both ended up using their VLS system to get on into the zone. So kind of a fight between our two teams here. A lot of damage from Revolver. Gonna chunk Ignite down to half HP. Revolver also being chunked down a little bit. But looks like Team Daeyoung Innate, they're just gonna walk away.
Yep, Frailty has already been popped from Revolu. I think they were both just trying to look for the wild animal transition. It was a meteorite. We can see 2 meteorites inside of Ignite's inventory, which is a little tragic. I think this team at this point is already gone with the use of the meteorites. They don't need it anymore. I think the only thing they might have needed it for is like beautiful garment on the Tsubame, but she already has it most likely. Yeah, there it is. And the leg piece, maybe racing boots. Yeah, there it is. It's the last one that they're going to be able to go for. So it's some kind minor use, but not the most optimal to get at this stage. I still have another one. Maybe we'll see a Tears of Selene being built up with that one. Put it onto the Tsubame.
The Alina still up in that corner there, just biding their time. Maybe gonna wait out the timer, maybe gonna try to get that last minute res in hospital, but they're just gonna be so far behind. Look at the levels on the Dema and the Estelle, both level 15. There is catch-up XP, so they're gonna be able to get back into the game, but there's gonna be so much farther behind in transitions and just in combat power. A lot of damage from Dina, gonna be chunk concept and Sajong. There's engage, there's the Arda gate in, just gonna send their tank on forward. One circle actually gonna follow up, get the D-Shake. Lianka is gonna do a lot of damage. Revolu gonna get a lot of damage in return. Can they kill Revolu here? There is the Peacemaker gonna be propped. Donana staying alive for so long, able to take so much damage, and a great damage reduction shield coming out once again. Now One Circle is actually going to try sticking the res, but Dina, in response, going to get a lot of damage with the laser. Oh, and a great blink forward from One Circle, able to find them, but One Circle, oh no, there's a third party. Romantic needs to get away. That's so unfortunate. It looks like Daeyoung Cybers, they got the res off, but immediately they paid a price, and it's Team Gaeyoung NA going to be the one to just reap all the rewards with that third party, with the Nebras gate in, and maybe take the Wick line as well. But here comes another third party. It's going to be Team Ultimates. Let's see if they have anything to say about it.
Yeah, all these teams are circling around like flies, man. There is no end to all the teams that are stepping into all these objectives. Char initiating in. Jinho is not going to be able to find the angle onto it, but Char gets eliminated immediately. You're walking straight in by yourself up against the Tsubame as a tank. That's not the brightest idea in my opinion, and it definitely costs them. One member down. They did pick up the Wick line and I think the blood sample, but that is a minus 200 overall. Still a net.
That's okay.
Yeah, still a net worth, right? But you might have to recalculate how they initiate with that.
Yeah, only minus 200. They did have that kiosk, so they're just gonna instantly get that Alina back alive there. There's engage coming out from the Alina. Alina did end up getting the res off, but again, I think they're way too far behind the items here. They're not gonna take the Nimrod's gate in. Gonna use that point. Great parry though from the Dema. A lot of damage being returned though, and Donana already getting chunked down to half HP. There is the Shackling Anchor gonna get a lot of damage. The ultimate is gonna connect onto One Circle, but just not enough. I think it's just the item disparity is just too big for Team Non-Responsible, and now it's another minus 400. I don't think they can get back into this one.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the timing of protocol violation. It hit everybody on this side of Non-Responsible, man. Donana just benefited so much from the bonus damage taken from enemies sitting inside of the protocol violation, and his health just increased massively the moment he used magnetic field. So
protocol is such a strong combat augment if you are able to proc it, even on just two teammates. Just on two teammates, that itself is about 1,400 HP.
Yeah,
like, it's even more than force field. You proc on 3 people, that's 2,100 like all 3 teammates. What is going on here? 2 Nimrod's gate, 1 Nimrod's gate in, 1 Nimrod's gate out, and now Gaeyoung NA is stuck in between FN Sejong and Team Ultimate here. There's a Nimrod's gate in, and Don's just gonna send it, and another Nimrod's gate out as well. Oh my god, what is going on? We just have a triangle of Nimrod's gate there. It looks like Gaeyoung NA was the one that sent it on the bottom side there, and oh my god. KCW finds it once again, but he does end up going down. Jinho getting a lot of damage, a lot of value on the Tsubame. We're able to kill the tank there, but there's the Estelle res. Oh no, the Estelle isn't going to be able to get it off.
No, Jinho.
Oh no, a third party is coming in, and it's Team Freya. There's a Nimrod's gate to go back in, another Nimrod's gate to go out, and it's going to be Freya going to be the one to get the third party. They're going to wipe. Actually, I don't think any team wiped there. It looks like Ultimate lost 2 members. Getting in, it also lost 2 members. Ignite trying to get away there, but there's another Nimrod's gate in. Gonna force the Estelle to go down, and that's gonna be getting in. Unfortunately, going down in 5th place with, 8 kills. It's not too bad of a performance, but definitely wanted to look for something more there.
Are we watching Portal 2 or what? Like, is this a speedrun?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. There's way too much teleportation action happening, I think, in this game. But
they're not color-coded.
But yeah, Nimrod's Gates is gonna be off the table for game number 2 at least.
Okay, there's the full spin. Oh my god, man almost got himself killed, but there's the follow-through damage from Green Apple. Yet another Tsubame that exists. Hex, the debilitation! Oh no, it's not enough.
If KCW hit that roundhouse kick, they actually would have been able to get him. Oh my god, wait!
Please,
Ultra?
no!
Oh no, it's here. But the third party, and there's a Nimrod's Gates, and that's gonna be it for Team Red Yellow. The Nimrod's Gate is just way too strong.
Yeah, this game's able to funny.
It's able to instantly send on any third party, and there's not really much a team can do to react to it. They tried getting the res off, but Nimrod's Gate, just immediately able to pull the trigger, and Freya gonna be the one to come out on top. great macro play from Trio. He's able to get all these teams down and completely caught off guard with you know, the Nimrod's gates. Is able to, you know, shut them down as they're taking team fights.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a new meme that's going to be a new certified banger that might be posted on the Eternal Return game channel sometime soon. If one of the social media managers wants to post about this, what the? How do you even practice against this, right? Like, I'm pretty sure you'll never even see this in scrims. What is going on? Seriously.
Yeah, it's just so hard because I think like the one strong thing is they don't even have to take the Nimrod's gate if they choose not to. They can just leave it there, and then they could wait like a couple seconds, and then the one time you're not expecting them to take it, they're just gonna take it, and they're gonna catch you off guard. And it's just such a strong tool because it could also get you out of, you know, bad situations like we saw in Cemetery. There's so many 3Ps, there's so many teams around. Nimrod's gate is a great tool to use to, you know, reposition your team or to look for those third-party angles, which is what we saw in the last couple of minutes.
Okay, FN Sejong is going to try locking down the entirety of Chapel, but the problem is the other side also has an Arda. They actually have really good ways of initiating in. They don't actually have to walk through the tight corridors, which is what I think FN Sejong was looking for, but they also understand that the enemy team has an Arda. One of the reasons why right there, Nimrod's Gate is just being utilized as a little bit of a poking / vision gaining skill. And we'll have to see what Team Freya opts to do. There are a few options, again, like with the Arda. But what are you looking for?
You could see the vision control from FN Sejong. They'll know which direction this team comes from here. And yeah, it looks like FN Sejong, they do know they're coming from the bottom side. There's Nimrod's Gate in. Not going to take it this time, though. Just going to slowly walk up here and try to take zone control. I do like this from the bottom side. It is a more open space, so they can just slowly start walking in here. Once we're going to get some poke down. There's the knock up. There's Nimrod's Gate. Are they going to take it? No, looks like it's going to be bait once again. There's Nimrod's Gate on the other side, though, and it is going to be... Oh my god, and not just instantly takes in. There's the great follow-up from Team FN Sejong with the Shackling Anchors, and that's going to be it. Team FN Sejong going to be the one to come out on top, showing why they're one of the best teams in Korea once again with 11 kills for themselves.
Unfortunately, the Chloe, a little bit of a father moment, forgot to press the ultimate from the looks of it. They didn't expect all that damage to come in at once.
I don't even know if they would have lived because this is so much AoE damage coming out for the side of Team FN Sejong. The Shackling Anchors. Yeah, the Shackling Anchors, follow up from one circle, just, you know, so much damage coming down. Like I think the Chloe still would have blown up, but great engage there. Once again, it's that Nimrod's Gate, right? Nimrod's Gate. Both teams placed it down, but it looks like FN Sejong was the one to pull the trigger, send it on in, able to get that point right onto the Chloe. Great priority target and great follow-up from Team FN Sejong.
Yeah, that was amazing. All the Ardas in this game were also some interesting things for you and I to see, right? We've seen throughout the entire phase, and quite frankly, starting from phase number 1, how valuable of a character this Arda character really is. But it's really nice to see that non-traditional Arda teams are also starting to pick this character up, because we get a mess of a game like this. It's part of the reason why this character is so valuable.
That Cemetery, that was so funny. It was like a triangle. It was like triangulated their Arda gates. One going over the wall, one going down into factory, one going into hospital. That was kind of funny to see.
Yeah, we're literally going to be making Triforces and Eternal Return at this rate with Nimrod's Gate, I swear to God. Okay, but on the flip side, that character is banned for game number 2. I would not doubt it if we see him again during game number 3. Yeah, for sure at this point.
He's coming back.
I think a lot of teams are just having a little too much fun.
I think the Arda was, like, you saw how strong the Arda was and like how these teams are utilizing the Arda in the finals here. Like, they're just really, really good at navigating around, you know, using the Nimrod's Gates, knowing when to send it as well, and just, you know, getting the value of even the damage from Arda, right? Getting the dices, getting just, you know, the poke damage with his Q. It's just quite a bit of follow-up damage for that character, and I'm pretty sure like we're at least gonna see 3 minimum coming back again, because all the teams that had Arda did pretty good in that game. So
yeah. The thing is, though, there are a couple teams that did pick up Arda that, as I said, is non-traditional Arda teams. So they do have other team compositions they can divert back onto if they don't want to pick that character. It's an option for a majority of the guys, where you take a look at Oh, I'm forgetting the team name. The one that runs the Yan, Elena, Arda.
Ultimate.
Yes, Team Ultimate. Team Ultimate, it feels like this is going to be one of their more mainstay compositions. Although we do know that Team Ultimate can divert onto things like the Arda, well, not the Arda, the Adela, Nikki, if they really choose to do so. But the amount of success that we saw from the Yans using the Nimrod skate as well as the Elenas in this game really makes me think that this is going to stay consistent. So keep your eyes peeled, everybody. Once again, we don't have color-coded Nimrod skates. Nimble Neuron might have to look a little bit more into that because
Yeah, that was
I'm
a little
sure.
weird. It was a little hard to tell whose Nimrod skates was whose, but you could basically tell when the characters pop out of the gate, you know?
Yeah, somebody might have to call
Basic-
Rosito. Like, this guy is missing out.
Yeah, I mean, Arda, such a strong character. Like, these teams are just able to utilize it so well. You know, even after the nerfs, right? Arda did end up losing a lot of distance, a lot of cooldown on his Nimrod skate, but it's still just such a strong tool to get these teams in and out of fights, able to snap engage whenever you want, able to maybe bait engages as well. You put the Nimrod skate down, basically force the enemy to respect your Nimrod skate and to position around it. And if you don't, we saw like in that final game in Chapel, the Nana just instantly sent it in. Was able to find the Chloe, just pointed at the Chloe, and then, you know, it's just lights out from there.
Yeah, maybe it really makes you think and really makes you wonder how much of a sleeper character Arda has been, right? This is post all the changes as well. So
Yeah.
quite an interesting way that we're seeing how this series is going to begin. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Arda, Nimrod's gate the game. This is the result. 19 points for FN Sejong. It is not that big of a difference between first and second. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Freya sitting with 11 kills as well. 16 points on their end. We have 3 teams with more than 10 field kills. Ultimate sitting on 10 with 13 themselves, and it just trickles down from there. But you know, this score sheet is not going to stay like this. Teams are bloodthirsty. Picks are happening everywhere going into day number 2 as well. And the moment we go back into game number 3, we are going to have a fiesta yet again. So what are we going to be in line for game number 2 to kind of continue the action we saw in game number 1?
Yeah, you can see FN Sejong and Freya, they both have the same amount of field kills. The only difference is their placement in that final game. FN Sejong getting the 1-up onto Freya, so they're going to have 3 extra points. And it's looking like if FN Sejong continues with this path with, you know, a 19-point average game, I think you need about an 18-point average game if you want to make it into that checkpoint breakpoint for game number 4. It could be possible, but it's probably going to be pretty unlikely, depending on, you know, how these teams maybe adapt to, you know, this Arda pick. Obviously, Arda going to be off the table for game number 2.
Mhm.
So now these teams are going to have to maybe swap their comp around, try to adjust. And then for game number 3, they need an answer for that Arda if they're not picking it themselves.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the character selections for game number 2. Alonzo and Arda band,
Wow.
as we were talking about at
And
the
would you
beginning
look
of
at that?
game number 1. We
Look at how
are
many
seeing
Mize.
ourselves a My flip instead. Okay.
Look at how many Mize just coming straight out of the shadows there. Once the Alonzo and the Arda are off the table, it's like 5 Mize gonna be coming in to game number 2. We'll have another banner. We're actually gonna have the Justino coming back out once again in the finals from Mojang.
Okay, this is a weird game for Justina, if I'm gonna be honest with you. There was a lot of teams that are either not full dive comps or teams that just straight up outrange the Justina, right? You got NXA sitting on the Dema. Twins Rush is really good at closing the distance against the Justina. You got Dejan Cyber, who's just gonna outrange them. And I don't think there's a full dive comp in this game outside of Team Ultimate. We'll see how good at controlling the neutral Mojang is going to be throughout the entire game, because he does also have Proline sitting on the William. I know somebody in chat was looking forward to this. We're going to get it for game number 2. Vampiric Bloodline, by the way, as well. So a little bit of a different flavor of William compared to before. It's a little bit more based on the sustain throughout the entire course of the fight. Of course, his healing during the fastballs are actually going to be insane. So teams are going to have to factor that in while you fight Team Freya.
It's just going to be a lot more damage. I mean, William already has a lot of attack speed when he does end up popping his fastballs. So, I mean, I'm not too surprised it is the Vampiric, because, you know, you can charge that up. It's just, you know, for that 1v3 potential instead of that adrenaline for that more sustained damage. You have to see how it does end up working for them. I do actually really like their team comp just because William and Yusina both are kind of self-reliant, and they are going to be able to, you know, kite around in these team fights. It's going to be up to that Mai to, you know, help them maybe peel off enemies or to lock down some targets.
Yeah, that Mai is more of a second thought at this point with this composition, just because of how self-sustained both of these characters are for Team Freya. So I like the fact that they are going with the Mai, always having that option of getting that exclusive, always having that option of initiating with the Catwalk Quake combination. They'll let you line up your combos really easily. I mean, one of the best things about William is the fact that if somebody's locked down, you can lock them down even further with Signature Fireball. And it's the same case with the Justina as well. The amount of poke damage she's able to get up against characters that really aren't able to move too much is absolutely bonkers. So really interesting team composition. We will see how it does. Whereas everybody else, pretty standard across the board. I think the only thing that's interesting for me right now is the Yuki for Gyeonggi NA. They don't typically play this. I'm surprised they're not diverting back onto the Mai, but I guess it's also at the same time we were talking about the potential Nadine Hayes Mai comp coming out yesterday, but because of the Hayes not really being there right now, they can't really bring that onto the table.
I'm not surprised. You know, they have played the Yuki before, and then they're just on that Theodore. You know, Theodore instead of Hayes is probably ideal, just because, like you said, Hayes just isn't that ideal mage right now. There's a double rainbow. Full rainbow is going to land on the KCW, and KCW is probably going to get picked off by the side of Team Gang NA. They will be able to get that kill. It's going to be red, green, yellow. Maybe going to look for some more. Or actually, it was red, green, yellow that was able to get that kill. And looks like Green Apple going to jump on in. I think they were able to get Alto as well, and there is just a bloodbath in Cemetery again. It's always Cemetery, and it's just living up to its name, you know, making a cemetery down here with all these bodies. And it's going to be Tia getting sniped. I think that was by the yeah, that was by the Theodore ultimate there, and now they're going to focus their attention on the Team Freya. Is Ignite going to be able to catch up here? It is that Justina. Justina should be able to get away. There's a lot of movement speed, a lot of poke. Going to come to the side of Ing9 there. There's the exclusive gonna pull them out. Justina gonna try getting on out of there. Gonna get the speed boost from the gate, and it looks like they should be out. But oh no, Nanana on the top side for the third party. Ojum should be able to get away.
Two characters were banned. Most of the time when two characters get banned, the entire team dynamic changes with where they're going to spawn, where their items are going to finish. But this is how popular of a third zone or second zone Cemetery is, ladies and gentlemen. Especially in KR, I talk about it all the time. Cemetery, there is a reason why it's called Cemetery at this point in Korea. They really made a name for it.
Yeah, it's there's just so many teams. I mean, it's such a good spot to end, just because, you know, there's a lot of farm. There's the boars, there's the wolves,
There's bats.
and there's also the wolf or dog pack that spawns right at the night cycle. And then if you're able to get the cemetery, you know, spawn, you're gonna be able to maybe rotate into hospital or into chapel. It's a very flexible zone for the early game. So not too surprised on why so many teams do end there, and why it's such a hot zone. Looks like Team Gang and 8 are going to be able to get Charl there, and yeah, KCW going to fall very shortly. Looks like the side of Team Ultimate, the two members seeping in a little too late, right when the Alina went down, and they're just going to be able to pick up another kill.
It would have been alright, but unfortunately the auto attack from the Theo too far away. I think one shot became a plasma gunshot or something like that, so unfortunately, the Elena ended up falling down. KCW also falling down immediately after, but Alto making the executive decision to leave. Evans said they're looking for a fight. It's a thing corridor at the moment, but Cho, he actually steps behind the shield. I don't know if that was the right call, because he was blocking all the auto attacks. Then Anna sitting up in the front side, we are seeing a lot of damage. Proline on the backside too. He's going to have to blink away. Cho's going to get taken down. I think Cho could have stayed where he was and just let the rest of his team walk in, because he was sitting in front of the shield. Most of Theo's damage in overcharge comes from shooting autos past the shield.
Yeah, but I think it's just because of the way their backline's positioning. You basically had to peel back because she was just a little too far up, so you know the backline is just what it wasn't going to be able to do any damage. But oh my god, the damage from Team Gang is just way too much. A great peel back from Team Gang, and unfortunately Team Not Responsible not going to be able to find anything. NXA going to try jumping on in, but the sustain from Theodore is just way too much. Look at the damage though coming out from the demo. Is just not going to be enough, just barely not enough. And yeah, will be Team Ultimate going to be able to find the heart here? Maybe the hearts can get one. No, it's going to be Ultimate going to be the one to pick that up for Team Ultimates. And I think the tree did end up going to the side of Team Always Incheon here. This came out of nowhere. I don't think this Stealth can get away. Great taunt there. Just got a volley block.
So much
dash
damage
now. I mean, it is the Lenny giving the extra auto attack damage to the Estelle, and the Estelle is on full amp, right? The Estelle, you usually don't play any, or you play like 1 or 2 tank items on the Estelle, so the Estelle can still do a lot of damage. And then, you know, that heal factor as well from Lenny, just able to get the Estelle a lot of amp.
No, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, it is non-responsible as Estelle that runs full amp, right? Yeah, okay. Cool, here we go. The fight is going to begin. We do see the signature signature fireball down on the ground. Proline has the fastball activated, and you will finally get an auto attack off. Green Apple taken down. Tia of Oman. Actually, I'm going to say his actual name. It's going to be Youngman. I don't know if you know who that is, but one of our more resident KR players. Youngman is going to get himself out. I know I've been saying Owan, but I kind of realized that it's Youngman because 0 in Korean is pronounced Young in one of the 2 ways that you can do it. So, yep, Youngman going to be able to get himself out, whereas Char, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah.
That's how you pronounce his name, though. There you go.
Yeah, always in trying to be able to pick that one up. Ooh, and they're going to be able to get Lumi and a box coming very shortly here. So this is going to be a big tempo swing for Team Always in Chun. And this is exactly what they need. They need to get those items on for that Shoichi, so that Shoichi can just go in, do his thing, basically, you know, completely decimate these teams. They're going to get that kiosk buy-in. I think that's going to be the 4 squad. Maybe going to be called in for that Shoichi. Yes. Probably going to go over to that Courtier or that Persona. And yeah, they're going to be looking pretty strong here. I think they're going to save for that blood as well from that Mai. Actually, it's pretty, it's a pretty long, yeah, a pretty long way until that blood. So probably going to buy another 4 score or something to get that feed or a couple more items here and there. It's going to be Team Gang NA, going to be able to get that alpha in warehouse for free. A lot of teams just slowly going to start getting those alphas, getting those boxes, getting their call-ins as well, making sure they're up to speed into the lobby here. Don't want to be falling behind, especially in a lobby like this.
Yeah, all these teams are actually on pace with mostly what they want to do, especially for Always Incheon. If you're sitting at 135 credits after a 4 score buy at around middle of night number 2, you're actually on pace to get the blood sample with your own credits as long as you farm
just saving for it, honestly. Like, the Mai is still just sitting on 500, so he's probably just going to wait for... I would say they should buy like a small, because I think they're still going to be able to get like 200 credits in time for that 4 score, but... Sorry, for that blood, but I think maybe just opting to just completely save for that blood coming in. Maybe they're just so rich that they don't want to risk. They don't want to risk it because, you know, if they do end up dying as well, you know, minus 200, they're not gonna be able to get that blood buy-in. Looks like they're gonna be rotating into Chop or into Hotel here though. Red, green, yellow. Ooh, they're actually gonna walk in the second team. Always in shot. No, team Freya do end up taking a cam, so they're actually not gonna know. Oh, they're gonna spot them out with that camera though, and that recon drone. Don't know if Team Freya wants to take the fight here. 2 balls already prepped for Pro Line. And you're right, that is going to be Daeyoung Cyber. Just the Johan just going to be trickling on in. I think they just TP'd on in there. And it's going to be Dina and Revolo going to be following up very shortly.
They stole the wolves and left.
Yeah, I think they're going to go. I think they're probably just going to go back down for that Tree of Life there. And oh, a great catch there from FN Sejong. Okay. Here's the engage though from Responsible. Going to use the Estelle ult with the Alina engage, and Romantic's just pelting bullets down onto Team Non-Responsible. They're going to be able to pick up NXA. And a great 1-for-0 for Team FN Sejong, and they're going to be able to grab this box, so great tempo swing for them. You
can't do that up against Team FN Sejong. We've seen how aggressive Romantic plays with this Nadine. He is probably one of the few players on Nadine that just runs straight in with the Wild Hunt. Like, this guy will just send it with the wolves.
One of our premier front-to-back teams, like, you just saw how well they just were able to peel back their backliners. You know, they tried to go in onto one circle, just wasn't enough. But here comes Luminol. He's gonna be able to kill the Alina there. Looks like Team Ultima is gonna be on the back foot. Also gonna be able to get a lot of trade damage, a lot of damage back. It's gonna be just gonna force Always in Shun not to engage any farther, and will be Team Ultima, unfortunately, gonna be a minus 200, and great pickup for Always in Shun, gonna be able to get that tree as well. Probably gonna give it over to their teammate there. I don't think Luminol can really use it there, so we're gonna have to see what they end up building. Lumi gonna be taken for Team FN Sejong. A lot more credits going to the side of this team. Gonna get a lot more Bisons. Maybe gonna start calling in blood here for Romantic. Gonna get that 4 score, maybe for 1 circle to get that Turlin timepiece online, and they're just gonna be so strong. Yeah, as I said, they're all on pace. Look at the credits on the Mai, FN Sejong. We got the Nana ready to call in the blood sample as soon as it turns night number 3. Same thing for Always Incheon. They're gonna be a little bit delayed.
right? They haven't been able to farm extremely too well because they've been dealing with a couple teams here and there during the night 2 and day 3 cycles, but should be there, I would say, around maybe 30 seconds to a minute left before night 4 begins. They are on pretty good pace. Another 4-score bought by the Lenny. It is going to be the Dragon Fury coming out. I see the Elf Dress being built up too. They're on really good items at this point. The Mai also building up her own items with the credits that we saw earlier, all doing good. FN Sejong on pace, non-responsible on the other hand. They're definitely still a little bit behind. That's why they're running away. Always in turn too strong for their liking at the moment.
Yeah, just going to be on the back foot there. A little unfortunate, especially when teams are just eyeing for you. When you are weak in these lobbies, teams will just start to apply as much pressure as possible to try to get those kills. Because, you know, you got to take these fights when you have such a big advantage. FN Sejong gonna peel back, gonna try to start maybe Omega here. I think they might be able to get it. Ooh, I like that they're staying in this bush, maybe for a vision play, but always in Chun. Great heads up. They're just gonna use that recon push. Great awareness from them. FN Sejong though, they're gonna position on the bottom side here, so they're probably gonna be able to just pull it down. Yeah, they should see this Shoichi. I don't know if they're gonna start it here. Maybe Danana might look for an engage potentially. Looks like they are gonna pull the Omega down now. They're not gonna get healed.
Oh, that actually helps them a lot.
Don't know who's gonna get this Omega though. It's gonna go to the side of the Mai. The Mai's gonna be able to pick that up, but the damage from Team FN Sejong is just way too much and is instantly focused.
If Chen
Both
lives,
the Shoichi and the Mai, and no down as well. That is a disastrous fight for Team Always in Chun. They got a little too greedy. And Mai just taking way too much damage, trying to pick up that Omega, that 4-score, but immediately paid the price for it.
Oh boy, this is not good for Team Non-Responsible either. The Twins Rush comes out, the Peacemaker is going to be used in response. Look at the health bar starting to drop. The Elena on the backside trying to recover whatever she can, but it's a tight corridor up against the Theo, and you can see the healing from Energy Blast Field is a little bit too good. Down goes the Elena, no timer remaining for her either. This doesn't even have to happen, but there it is. 15 seconds left for Dazu. The credit is going to be given over onto A9 with both the reward as well as the cube. We might actually have ourselves a round number 2 just with the res location, but there is another team hanging around. Team Non-Responsible have to be really careful. They're split by a wall and they don't have an Arda.
Another minus 400 for them as well. They're going to be so far behind. I think Team Young Ene, they probably just want to send it again onto this team because, you know, once you have such a big item advantage over another team, it's really hard for them to play the team fight. I think Non-Responsible, they're just going to sit in this bush here, maybe bide their time, maybe play for some placements. I think Young Ene, they might sniff them out here. They are going to walk up, maybe get a recon drone in this bush. Oh, they're going to play for this red box. Is there a red box here? I think you just saw it for a second, yeah.
Okay. Non-Responsible definitely needs this. One of the few teams that can actually probably use any items from this because they have so little transitions. This is like the last gambit that they're looking for.
Oh yeah, unfortunately the Alina just went backwards there. There's ultimate coming in for the demo is going to be enough. There's the Peacemaker going to come down. The HP bars are dropping, but Theodore is still full HP.
Okay, there's one.
Able to get a lot of damage. They do get up one. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Alina does go down as well. The Theodore is still up. The healing is going to come down. They're going to try getting as much damage as possible. There's the Spartan going to hit the Alina. And XA just able to get so much damage and so much value, and they're going to be able to get the 1-up on the Team Gang Innate. Non-Responsible coming out huge in this team fight. Going to be able to get that red box. Unfortunately, going to lose that Alina, so another minus 200, but it's going to be the Chinese upper mask. Don't know if the demo can use this. I would hope they can, and they do have a Gamma key card as well. I think they just need to go into the Gamma here to maybe pull back on some value that was lost in the fights.
And finally, Team Non-Responsible catches themselves a break, but straight in. No! The Gamma keycard and the Chinese opera mask.
No, the opera mask should stay in their inventory, so it's fine.
Gamma
But
keycard,
Gamma keycard, they get the box as well. They get the tree. It's a disaster for Team Non-Responsible. Another minus 200 going to the side of Team Non-Responsible there. FN Sejong, I really like their macro play. I don't know if you saw it, but you're staying out of vision for that box and just let Non-Responsible. They let one of their members go in by themselves and immediately catch them off guard with that spark nade or that taunt. I don't know which one connected, but yeah, great macro play from Team FN Sejong.
This is ridiculous, by the way. The team that went out first still has the highest number of kills across the board, across any teams in this lobby at the moment. You can see how aggressive Hyungi was playing throughout the entire course of the game because of that. FN Sejong looking for positioning around the wick line. There is a couple teams trying to
They're
get
two
the
teams.
VLS
Yeah,
in,
they're
but
VLSing
too
in,
far
but I don't think
away.
they're gonna make it.
Yeah,
I don't think they're
Romantic
gonna make it in time.
BO kills this extremely fast. They are here extremely late. It's a free wick line going in hand
And look
of FN
at the
Sejong.
items of Danana. Danana is 5 gold as a tank, so they are so strong. They didn't get blood. A great reaction from Alto. Gonna be able to blink away from that spring trap. Always Incheon not gonna be able to find anything there. But yeah, FN Sejong, they got the wick line for free. Their tank was already five gold items. That blood is just gonna make them even stronger with that wick buff as well. I think all these teams are gonna have to watch out. Probably just gonna have to run away from Team FN Sejong there. Team NXA or Team Non-Responsible gonna try looking for the engage here. They definitely want to take this fight. It's gonna be up to the Alina to get a
double
nice
yellows.
backline angle. But yeah, it's a Tia. Tia is really strong into this team comp because there's just so much melee damage there. Are they gonna be able to find Tia? The freeze doesn't connect. There is the freeze actually with the combo, but a great exclusive from the Mai, able to pull the Tia back. And now you're fighting into a Subame and a Tia. Just so much AoE damage. And there's so much single target damage from the Subame. But wait, they're actually gonna be able to kill the Subame there. But look at the side. Look at the top side. Just a Tia gonna be able to get this 1v2 here. Can the this still gets him. This still gets him. There's just 1 HP and here's res. There's no res.
And he gets the
Still res
passive
comes
healing
through.
too.
Oh my god, and I don't think the Mai can really do anything to the Dema here. And it's going to be non-responsible to be the one to come out on top, winning the 1v1 into the Tia. Wow.
Making full use of her passive as well. The healing intermittent every now and then. You get a massive amount of heal for a second as Estelle, and you also get the enhanced res timer as well. Non-responsible Nulu making full use of their character.
Wow, yeah, that was just so well played, but oh no, they immediately get caught by FN Sejong, and FN Sejong is just way too strong. Look at the damage coming out from Romantic. There's the Estelle ult and a great sidestep from Romantic. They're just dodging out on that Estelle. Heli tax stat and non-responsible, gonna lose a member. I think that's gonna be it. NXA gonna get caught by always Incheon. Luminol just gonna use their daggers, dash 2 times, gonna be able to kill NXA there, and yeah, non-responsible. Fortunately, getting caught in that third party, getting caught by Team FN Sejong. FN Sejong is just so strong right now. There's really not much they could do in that situation there, especially, you know, when they invested so many big ones already. Oh, Proline.
Okay, wait,
wait, oh no, oh no.
Hold on a second. If
No, you have to
somehow
go back.
gets pushed out of this, but they already used the expulsion shot. Oh no, okay, that could have been a free kill going into the hands of Team Freya, but they're gonna miss out on the opportunity.
For FN Sejong there. Surprise, the Nana actually ended up taking it over because Proline was caught, but there's no way to push Proline off of the VLS system without you going over, without risking yourself from going over there. And are they gonna come over? Oh, Joe actually gonna jump over, but I think Team FN Sejong, they know there's a lot of teams in the zone.
Look at the mini
Don't want to take any risk, and oh no. It's going to be the Alina, gonna fall very shortly here. Maybe get the freeze and can maybe skate away. No, actually gonna get stopped. There's a knock up from Team Ultimate. They're gonna be able to get that kill. Freya gonna jump on over as well. Oh, I see why they're just hovering their time there, because both Pond and Fire Station did end up closing. So not really much these not really any place these teams can go. There's the Ultimate coming out from one circle. Gonna be able to get all of his teams on in there. They're not gonna try looking. Proline already having the fastball prepped. It's slowly gonna go down here. Maybe they could look for a re-engage.
Yeah, but here's the outrange issue, right? One circle is just gonna completely zone out. Mojom, that Justina has no control over this area outside of the Theo, just not looking at her. So just gonna back away from this. Wicker line buff is gone at least. That's a benefit that all teams around the map are gonna be able to enjoy up against Team FN Sejong. But it does not change the fact that their item transitions are absolutely bonkers at the moment. You're still gonna have to deal with that for the entire game. Full transitions on Danana, Blood Half Moon guaranteed at this point. I just don't know if one circle is sitting on the Widowmaker, but if he is, then this is gonna become an even worse fight. Is Proline's item even that great right now? I haven't seen this team doing too much throughout the entire course of the game. Their credit count is low, so I would assume that they're sitting on pretty okay transitions, but is it good enough to go up against FN Sejong? They want to start chasing this down.
Yeah.
Recon drones being
Ultimate,
activated. They're looking.
They know
for
Prawn doesn't have any fastballs, so just gonna send it straight on in. Gonna get a lot of damage, a lot of poke, but there's a white lily for the full disengage. There's the ultimate for Proline gonna be invested as well, so that's gonna pivotal cooldown for the William. I think the William probably thought he got caught there, but didn't really need to use it. But it's still about 40 seconds before the zone does end up swapping, and FN Sejong is gonna be able to find red, green, and yellow's Mai. They're gonna be able to pick them up. was just a rack kill, and it's going to be a 3-team final zone for Uptown and a 2-team final zone for Cemetery here. Who's going to be the one to come out on top in both zones? Looks like they and Cybers, they already have full zone control, and they're playing that Eva. It's going to be so hard to push into this team with the guillotines already down as well. Going to be able to pop the white lily. Look at the damage. Look at the poke damage coming out from Dina. It's going to be really hard for these teams to send it on in here. Maybe we'll see Always Inch on Team Ultimate fight on the outside of the zone. I don't know if they even know there's another team that's behind them right now. I don't think they do.
Yeah, Team Ultimate coming in from that little alleyway is not going to help this entire situation at all. I like the repositioning from Always Incheon. There are a couple double guillotines on the north side. That's going to expire in about 10 to 15 seconds. Team Ultimate slowly but surely making their way in, clearing any vision that Daejeon Cybers have. This is the perfect time for Team Always Incheon to start looking for the flank. They don't see it. The camera disappears. Now Team Daejeon Cybers in a whole heap of trouble. Blink out from the Johan, blink out from Revolu, and the fight will reset. Look at the timer on the side of Team Ultimate though. They're not going to be in a good situation. Ruthless gets invested, a lot of kills, a lot of damage. Alto gets taken down. Everybody on the side of Team Ultimate's going to get taken out. That's a lot of good damage coming in. Senaphine's going to get ripped to shreds, but KCW on the backside, it's not going to support it. There is the head pop coming in from Senapine. Now it comes down to Luminal and Chenyang, but they have so little time left on their hands, and there is no Ruthless.
It's not looking too good, and then Dina is just there to just poke down Luminal there. Great kite back. They're just going to play their time here. Luminal going to try going in. Not going to be able to find anything, and both of them will explode. So well played from Daeyoung Cybers. I love their macro play there. Just had zone control for the start of the final zone, and then, you know, just pull out when you have more timer than the other teams, because the other teams are just going to be forced to go in. They're going to be forced to fight each other because they're going to be lower timer. They're going to be the ones to pop first. So very nicely played by Daeyoung Cybers. Going to be able to win that one out, but you're going to have to go into Team FN Sejong. FN Sejong, I don't know if you're watching their fight as well. One Circle ended up using their blink a little too early, but the damage and the peel back from Team FN Sejong is just way too good. They're just so good on this front to back team, and we're gonna see if Team Daeyoung Cybers can shut them down here.
Indeed, up against this team, you don't really need to pop the white lily because there is no way in hell Daejeon Cybers is gonna use that going in. But this does set up a pretty good location for FN Sejong. Luckily, they're not the ones that have to push into an Ava, which is really lucky. But this does
the spark nade
that could have been pretty bad. I like the spread. I like the spread, right? You gotta split the moment that happens, because if the auto attack splits and all of you guys lay locked in, that is an immediate energy blast field sound, and none of these guys have blinks coming in. The fight's gonna start. Revolu with the beautiful Peacemaker, but One Circle's just gonna completely leave it, and this resets the fight. But energy blast field invested. We have the Peacemaker invested. We also have the Faith of Wavering invested. But Romantic still has the Wolf Whistle. I think that's the big one that we're gonna have to be looking out for. But look at this. Daejeon Cybers have control. Oh, the white lilies up too. Daejeon Cybers have to be careful.
Yeah, you are gonna have to push into the Eva here. That is the problem. They did have gaming zone control to Daeyoung Cybers, but a lot of pivotal cooldowns for Daeyoung Cybers was invested. I like this position for Rebolo as well. Probably gonna look for a flank angle, and yes, he's gonna find it. He's gonna jump on that, and he's gonna trade One Circle, but wait a second. Robotics is gonna go on in, and he's gonna be able to kill both Cadmus and Dina. Great exclusive from Danon to keep Romantic alive just a little bit longer from the Eva laser, and that's gonna be it. Team FN Sejong, despite a great play from Revolu to trade 1-for-1 onto One Circle, it's just not enough.
Balls of steel on this man. Romantic, how do you make the decision? You just go headfirst straight into the Eva laser. He looked at death and said, "Come, I will take you on." What an absolute madman. And he has just enough damage, just enough distance to make sure he doesn't get disintegrated by the VF energy pulses that are just flying straight at him. Well played from Romantic. Well played from Revolu though too, right? Like, who goes there? Who goes in there? What the hell?
It's such a good like heads up play from him to just sit there, because the other two are gonna have to push in. The nighttime vision is not gonna see him in that corner there, and then Revolu just completely just jumping in onto One Circle, trading 1-for-1 without the Peacemaker. That's a perfect trade. You'll take that, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough. Dina wasn't able to get the 1-up onto Romantic there. Romantic, like you said, is jumping straight into that Eva laser, and then Danon able to just keep him alive a little longer with that perfect exclusive. I think using it the second that VF Eruption was exploding, so just dodging on so much damage. So very, very well played from both teams, but FN Sejong is going to be the one to come out on top.
Absolutely bonkers of a game, man. I can't believe it. The finals, it's all we've been waiting for, and the expectations that we had were so high for this, and it's being reciprocated more so than we were hoping for. I am in love with this series already, and we're only in game number 2, man. We have however many games it's going to continue. And let's be real here, I kind of feel bad to FN Sejong for saying this, but their track record whenever they go in a checkpoint first is not that great.
Yeah, that's very true. But at the same time, they did have I think they were the team that's made the shortest series so far, which is a 6-game checkpoint series
Indeed.
for KR. So they could just do it again, right?
They look stable as hell too.
They're on 2 wins already. They're out about I think it's probably about 37 points. So they should be in that range where they can go for that 4-game series, the infamous 4-game series, if they do just win the next one.
It's a definite possibility, especially with the Ardas and the Alonsos coming back in the next game. We should be able to see a lot of teams starting to divert back onto that, especially with my band out as well, right? We're going to have a fist fight between these teams once again. The brawls are going to begin if we see the huge number of Ardas that we saw in game number 1 coming back around. And if I'm going to be honest, there might be even more Ardas, because the way that you fight fire is with fire a lot of times. The easiest way to deal with an Arda is to use an Arda and get Nimrod's Gate, get out of there if you're in a bad situation. So there is a possibility we might even see more Ardas than we did in game number 1. These teams pick up on things fast. It's one of the reasons why they were able to get to this point. Adaptability is an all-time high. I'm very excited to see what we're going to be looking at for character picks when we come back from the break.
Yeah, I mean, I think we for sure will see the Arda, but Mai's going to be off the table. We didn't really see Mai too much, though, with the Arda being in or being picked, because I think it was the Alonso. I think most teams were picking the Alonso with the Arda instead, just because I think the Alonso does work better with the Arda, right? The Arda, if you want to send a tank in, can't be the Mai. The Mai is not tanky enough anymore, right? She doesn't have that much sustained defense anymore. Just has, some damage reduction, just not enough. But Alonso, you point at someone, you have that healing from your passive, you have that, 60, I think it's like 70-80% damage reduction with that shield, and just having that ultimate as well to, completely lock down or disrupt the enemy's plans.
Indeed. Oh gosh. Oh my god, game 3 is going to be fun. Game 3 is going to be fun. I'm just waiting for the score sheets at this point. There's definitely going to be a definitive lead from Team FN Sejong now. They are just playing way too well. The entire lobby is just not being able to deal with this Theodore correctly at the moment. The range isn't there, and especially without the Arda, there is no easy way to punish the positioning of this Theo. Let's take a look at what we're going to look at going into game number 3, and you can tell definitive lead, as I said. Wow. 19-point difference between FN Sejong and Team Freya in second place. 40 points, they just need 15 more.
15, yeah.
To
they
get
can
into
do it, like, easily. Yep. 15 is only like a 7-kill win or a 10-kill second place. It's definitely doable for FN Sejong. They're averaging 12 kills a game so far. So, if they just keep that up, they're going to be able to get into that checkpoint breakpoint for game number 3. But, being that first team in checkpoint, I've been in that situation so many times, and it's not fun. It's not fun. Yeah, all the teams, they're just gonna have a big target on your back. They're just gonna start handshaking. They're gonna start flanking, making sure at least one of your team members are down. They're gonna make sure you can't get the res off, and we'll see, because if Arda is gonna be back up for, actually no, I guess Arda wouldn't be up for game number 4 if they do end up going to the checkpoint. So they'd have to go back to their standard front to back team comp. I think Arda's a great character for the checkpoint. Like once you're in that checkpoint breakpoint, just because you have that Nimrod's Gate, such a versatile tool to get you out of those sticky situations.
Yeah, one of the beautiful things about FN Sejong is the simple fact that they're such a good team at making and using multiple different compositions that if they get into checkpoint with the teams that are in this lobby, they could play a little bit of a copycat kind of system just to throw teams off, right? Oh, which one's FN Sejong? Oh, which team is this? Which team do I need to stop? Yeah. I don't know what's going on over here. It's definitely a possibility. So we'll take a look at what their options are going forward. If they do get in checkpoint at game number 3, as I said, their track record isn't too great, but it's always going to be a new time. It's always a new opportunity.
That is true. They could try chameleoning and using other teams' team comps to try to maybe hide in the shadows. But I mean, in the game, you could tell which team is which even just by looking at like their team color, because there's like a number, and
no, they hide those. Remember with the new setting?
No, there should be like a color, like the color of the team.
Oh, there's no way
They-
that that's consistent, right? Because that would throw
No,
off
it
the
is, it
entire
is.
numbers.
It is because like of where they're positioned in the lobby, right? It's
Oh,
like team
that's
1,
so
team 2, team
weird.
3, team 4. So you basically can tell who's who, but I mean, yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, though, that was an even number of games that we watched, so you know what that means. We're going to go on a break, so grab some water, go grab some snacks, and go take a stretch. We'll see you guys back here for games 3 and 4, which is guaranteed.
Take care, take care.
생존자가 사망했습니다. 누군가가 사종 안전지대가 해제됩니다.
어서 가죠. 다음 스테이지로. 어느 자리에 있든 최선을 다한다고 말했죠? 지켜보세요. 제가 성장하는 모습을. 응원법은 숙지하고 왔죠? 사인 요청은 언제든지 환영이에요. 지금은 디자이너가 아닌 아이돌의 사인이에요. 빛나는 별이 되는 건 더 이상 꿈이 아니라고요. 사인이라도 해줄까요? 무대를 방해하는 사람은 용서 못해요. 팬이라면 용서해줄게요. 역시 전 이때가 제일 빛나는 것 같아요. 경호팀은 어디서 뭘 하는 건가요? 허락도 없이 사진 찍지 말라고 했잖아요. 동선이나 멘트는 미리 외워둬야겠죠. 오늘도 최고의 무대였죠? 정의의 히어로 유스티나 등장! 어? 걱정하지 마, 내가 왔어. 에이전트 에이든, 내가 구하러 왔다. 정의의 이름으로 각오하라고. 에이전트 알렉스, 이제 괜찮다. 왜냐고? 내가 왔으니까. 역시 악당들의 냄새가 나는데. 집중 소격! 발사! 나를 누구라고 생각해? 포기하지 않는 게 바로 내 장점이야. 모두 집합! 강한 힘에는 강한 책임이 따르는 법이야. 내 이름은 유스티나. 사람들의 소중한 일상을 지킬 수 있는 최고의 히어로가 되겠어. 아스트라 버스! 전력을 다해서! 언젠가 누가 말했었지. 평범한 일상으로 돌아가 평범한 생활을 하고 싶다고. 그럼 난 그 평범한 일상을 지킬 수 있는 최고의 히어로가 되겠어. 여기가 히어로의 전장이야. 준비해봤어. 기대되지? 빵! 맛있겠지? 한 줄까? 무슨 꿈꾸느냐고? 글쎄, 알려줄 것 같아? 어리다고 얕봤지? 창피해라. 대신가요? 있어도 좋고 없어도 좋아. 경찰 아저씨는 없나 보네? 잘됐다. 후슝! 내 이름으로 달아둬. 슝! 숙녀가 공격받는데 가만히 있을 거야? 야옹아, 여기 있니? 자! 오늘은 여기까지. 다음에 또 놀자. 안녕.
안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. 게임캐스터 천시아입니다. 신규 실험체를 집중 탐구해보는 시간, 이터널 리턴 실험체 백과사전이 유스티나로 돌아왔습니다. 석궁을 사용하는 실험체 유스티나는 이동하면서 스킬을 사용할 수 있기 때문에 기동성이 상당히 뛰어난 실험체입니다. 유스티나는 꾸준한 거리 조절과 게이지 컨트롤을 통한 스킬 활용이 굉장히 중요한 실험체입니다. 먼저 유스티나의 스킬 구성을 알아보겠습니다. 유스티나의 스킬 구성은 Q 스킬 연속 포격, 그리고 선멸 포격, W 스킬 집중 포격, E 스킬 부스트 대쉬, 궁극기 아스트라 버스트, 그리고 패시브 스킬인 아스트라 에너지로 구성되어 있습니다.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Eternal Return Masters Season 6 Phase number 2. We just finished Games 1 and 2 of the final stages. We're not looking at any more other versions, any more other specific series outside of the finals today, so it's all going to be one continuous ride. If you're joining us now and you missed Games 1 and 2, oh my goodness, were they bangers. FN Sejong just running the lobby down at the moment, 40 points after 2 games, 8 average placement points, which means they've been first 2 games in a row with an average of about what I think it was 13 kills a game or something like
12,
that.
I think it was 12 kills and 20 points per game, though, is crazy. You know?
Wow.
20 points per game, 12 kills, 15 points left. All he needs is 15 points to make it into checkpoint 4, game number 4. Maybe we might have the infamous 4-game series coming into Korea. Gonna have to see if FN Sejong is gonna be able to do it, but obviously there's so many other teams that, you know, they're gonna be able to, you know, try to shut them down here. I wonder if we're gonna see, you know, all the Arda picks come back. It is game number 3. Arda's gonna be back on the table, and then for game number 4, we're gonna have Mai enabled as well.
What are the options? What are the options for these teams? You just said it yourself. Arda's coming back. Same thing for the Alonso, right? Alonso is also going to be an option that these teams can divert back onto now that the Mai is gone. Estelle, also available, right? We saw a couple teams picking that up in game number 2. So, whichever tank, whichever front line these teams want to go for, it should readily be available. Just because Mai is gone doesn't mean that these teams have nothing else to play.
Yeah, I mean, Alonso being back too. Alonso looks like all these, or most of these Arda teams are pairing the Arda with the Alonso. They are playing that typical front to back team comp just because, you know, Alonso works really well. Just able to send Alonso in. The one thing Alonso struggles with is, you know, just having that points and just being too, what's the word? Again, I'm like blanking out on it again. Too predictable, right?
Oh, you're talking about too telegraphed.
Too telegraphed,
there
yeah. Because Alonso just has to walk up, use their points. But with the Arda can just snap, send the Alonso in, and the Alonso can get that point off for free.
Indeed. All right, well, we are in a situation where we are going to be indeed seeing a bunch of the artists coming in once again. 4. It's the same number as we saw in game number 1, and we're going to continue using it. I like
Alonso's too.
this. Yeah, the 3 Alonsos, the same idea of what we saw in game number 1. I think, quite honestly, it's actually the same exact picks, right? If I'm looking at
everything's the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ig9 was also playing the Estelle. Yeah, we're just going to keep flip-flopping, everybody. Pro line also on the Chloe. We're going to see that, so that's going to be fun. Nimrod eternally. We are going to be seeing it over and over and over this game. Cemetery is going to be a fiesta. I'm ready to see it. Are you ready to cast it, Super? Because you and I are going to have to just toss it back and forth between you and I for that one.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure here because yeah, we did see all the Nimrod's gates coming out left and right. We saw in Cemetery there was a it was a triangle of Nimrod's gates. I don't know honestly.
A lot of things that could happen. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, though. We're going to start heading into Lumia Island, the absolute hellscape that is going to be game number 3. With all the artists, will begin. At least for the first, I don't even want to say minute, first 40 seconds. I'll give it 40 seconds. Maybe it'll be quiet for a little bit. So why don't you and I just kind of meditate for a little bit, right? We're gonna need this moment.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I wonder if we're gonna have a slow start again, or if we're gonna have the Fiesta and Cemetery, because it's always that Cemetery zone.
Yeah, it's KR,
everyone just
man.
ends there. So many picks and so much team fighting just goes on up in there for the early game. But you know, these teams, they want as much points as possible. There's been so many points already to go around, but a lot of it's already going on to the side of Team FN Sejong. You can see at the bottom right there our leaderboard. If you guys did end up missing the first 2 games, FN Sejong already on 40 points, so you just need 15 points to get in. Remember, it is a checkpoint series today, so how it works is a team needs to get into 55 points, and then they need to win that next game once they reach that checkpoint breakpoint.
Indeed. A little bit slow on killing the Estelle, but there's our first kill of the game. Actually, the second kill of our game as Cadmus got ripped to pieces thanks to the work of Team Freya. Still looking for a couple more kills too, as another set of 2 players are going to start joining the fray. So we are actually starting out in Chapel this time around instead of Cemetery. There's the follow through with the Nimrod's Gate, but standing right in front. Whoa, the Chloe actually opts to blink on out of there. So they leave. Okay, there's a lot of people falling down again in Chapel. It's going to be a little bit of a Chapel fiesta instead. Not too many people in Cemetery, actually.
Look at the items on the Chloe. They're only having 3 items. So I actually like that play. Just need to make sure they don't wipe their team there. Yuna gonna be able to pick up Green Apple there. Actually gonna be able to use the White Lily to get out of there as well. Despite them not having. Oh my God! KCW hits a great two-man knockup into the double roundhouse kick. But yeah, despite there being not too much team fighting in Cemetery, we still have team fighting going around all over the map instead. But looks like Che's gonna be able to get away here for Team Always Incheon. But will be a nice kill going over to the side of Team Ultimate.
How does he always do it, man? KCW back on the end. Surprisingly, he is having an incredible performance on this thing. I feel as if whenever KCW plays this guy, it's like the entire season he'll pop off, or the entire season it'll look okay. It's one of the two.
Yeah. He has been showing that he deserves all the recognition on the Yan here. He's just playing so well. Usually KCW is pretty inconsistent, but I guess just for the season he's just been playing really well. Oh no, it's gonna be the Delina gonna get caught out there. KCW gonna get the knockup, gonna push back Ing9. I don't know if that's gonna be enough here because the Nimrod's Gate is available for the side of Team Gang N8. Just gonna jump on in. Jinno gonna be able to kill Alto there, and it's just gonna be KCW though gonna be the one that's gonna be forced to get away.
Yeah, Tetragon had to be invested to get all these unyielding stacks. Ing9 is not gonna let this go unpunished, as the Bear's also gonna get taken. Pro line looking for an initiation back in, which does allow this Chloe to have prio on that Bear. They are surrounded by people though, same thing for One Circle. Everybody is split farming at the moment from the looks of it. Pro line should get taken down in just a moment, not even investing the Soul Link. Good idea on that, right? You're probably gonna die anyways, no kill return even possible. KCW also falling down. It is picks galore at this point, man. We are going to continue to see this until day number 2 probably, as we saw in game number 1. We are just back to our origins. I guess game number 1 was a very good baseline as to what we are going to be seeing in these odd numbered games for the entire series.
Yeah, 2 kills already for Always Incheon, 5 for Gang N8. Only night number 1, they have 5 kills already. A great start for them. One Circle gonna get some more farm here. Already sitting on level 10, so they're sitting in a pretty comfortable spot. Looks like they're gonna be contesting for that Temple Tree this time around. But actually, maybe gonna TP to their teammates here. KCW gonna grab these walls. Team Ultimates looks like they're gonna walk up here for the Temple contest as well. So a lot of teams are going to slowly start coming down for these trees, for these meteors. Want to make sure they're going to be able to get the first objectives here. It's a great tempo swing for your team. There is the Nimrod's Gate. Are they going to take it in? It's going to be Proline. They're going to be the one to take it in. And Mojum as well. But great shield from the Alonso, going to tank up a lot of damage. But I think Ing9 maybe send it here. There's a double engage. There's a double root. The double dice from Dasu is just so big from the Arda. Great catch. But here's a third party. Third party is here. It's going to be red, green, and yellow. I don't know if any team members are going to be able to get away. It's actually going to be the Arda from Freya going to be able to get out of there. And there's a Nimrod's Gate as well. Arda's going to use their Nimrod's Gates to get out. Jinwoo going to be able to escape as well. All of Team GNA were able to get away, so not too bad for them. They did end up picking up 2 kills. Just gonna lose a Tree of Life there, unfortunately.
They all split perfectly, and I think Tazu landing the triple dice and cube combo there was probably by far the best time for them to do so. One Circle is not even gonna get a chance to use the grappling maneuver. Finally, we're gonna see Team Non-Responsible picking up a kill for themselves early on in the game. But yeah, that timing with the dice and cube combo, if it wasn't for that, I think the entirety of GNA could have also been wiped, right? Because the entirety of Team Red, Green, and Yellow was walking up when that dice and cube combo landed, and it was because of that the entirety of Team GNA was able to push up. They found themselves a little bit of breathing space thanks to the combo. If it wasn't for that, it probably would have been devastating.
Yeah, nice 2 kills for them. Looks like Red, Green, Yellow is actually gonna rip the TP down into warehouse here. Maybe I think they know there's not that much farm left up in their zone, and they're gonna get surrounded by Team Ultimate here. I don't think Asiya is gonna be able to get away. Gonna try using the dash. Great bat skill, but gonna get frozen into the ultimate combo, and KCW gonna be able to lock him up as well. Missing the roundhouse kick, but not really gonna matter there, as Team Ultimate's gonna be able to get that kill. Looks like Red, Green, Yellow, they're gonna lose out on some tempo here, but it's not gonna be too bad. Ooh, FN Sejong gonna be able to get this Lumi coming up and maybe get their force. I think they already bought their force scores. Yeah, so just a lot more credits here. Maybe contest for this alpha coming up very shortly. It's gonna be Team Gang in it. Gonna be able to get Team. Gonna be able to get Cenafine from Team Always Incheon there. Gonna be able to pick up that kill. And it looks like they're going to be able to get their buys in as well.
Yeah, all of this is possible because in comparison to game number 1, the overall kill count is not that high. So teams are actually on pace when it comes to their farming. This is a really, really good sign. A little bit of an adaptability change for a lot of our teams, as it's going to be a little bit of a different story.
Dazu is isolated here. He has a full combo.
Dazu is bam. There we go. The Goomba Stomp coming in from One Circle to finish that off. Just a little bit too split apart. I mean, Lumi was stopped, if I remember correctly, by Team FN Sejong. Quite surprising that the artist decided to walk up by himself. And this is going to force Kyunggi out. You're going to lose out on the Mutant Bears.
You're going to lose out on the Alpha as well. There's an Alpha spawning in Temple, and that's going to be free pickings for FN Sejong to get it for free and go over to the Alpha Bear, or to the Temple Bear. So a lot of tempo going to be going to the side of Team FN Sejong. There is another team though. Team Always Incheon is going to be in the zone, and it might put Team FN Sejong in a bad positioning here if they don't recognize there's 2 teams around them.
Maybe
they want to take this fight there. They're actually going to zone them out with the cube, and they do have the Nimrod's Gate, so they are just going to be able to walk away there. Because they should know they have the console. They should know that there is another team nearby. And now it's going to be Team Always Incheon going to be the one that's right in the middle, and a great point there coming out for the Nana. Going to be able to connect. Even though Cenafine did end up using their jump, wasn't going to be able to get them away in time, as it did already latch on there. There's an Nana going to send on the engage once again onto the back line. They're just going to tank a lot of damage with their damage reduction. Going to try getting Jinwoo there. Looks like One Circle is actually going to go for Das on the top here for the 1v1. It's going to be Luminal going to be able to pick that one up. And Luminal in the bush is wreaking havoc onto FN Sejong. One Circle going to be caught out here. I don't think if Luminal will be able to get it. One Circle, wait a second. One Circle get it? No, there's the Estelle ult. It's just going to be way too much HP to go for One Circle to go through. And Luminal will be able to pick that one up. And they're going to be able to get a kill from Gang A as well, because Estelle tried to go in for that third party, not be able to find anything. It's going to be Always Incheon, they're going to be the one to come out on top. But Team FN Sejong, they got so much value, I would say, out of all that team fighting. They got the Bears, they got the Alpha. They'll definitely take 1 or 2 kills here and there.
They say they say they got a ton of value out of that fight, but Kyunggi 8 already has gotten a lot of value out of this game. They're on 10. How the hell are they on 10? Oh my god, I could have sworn that just a few moments ago they were a team that really didn't have too many things going for them, because as I said, the overall kill count in this lobby was not that high going into night number 2, but they're sitting on 10. I don't know where they spawned all those kills, but it is what it is. Day number 3 is about to be upon us, as Tree of Life inside of Forest will be contested by 2 teams, Non-Responsible as well as Team Ultimate, looking to fight this out. The Pillar is going to at least deny the pickup onto the Tree of Life at the moment. Helitak stat is going to be dodged out by everybody on the side of Team Ultimate, but the fight is still going to continue. The Yang combination looking to lock down some members on the side of Team Non-Responsible, but they're a little bit too healthy for this. Healing Drone was also popped. Char sitting on very dangerous HP. He's on lethal points right now. This Debbie and Marlene could rip him to shreds, and the healing range from Arda is just not there at all. Char trying to rest himself back up. It is halved. No, actually, it might not be halved for the Tree of
Oh,
Life.
Lena,
Looking
gonna
for a
get an
reinitiation on the backside. Char getting taken down below half HP once again. There is not that much utility left for the entire side of Team Ultimate. Same thing for Non-Responsible, but they have the Twins Rush and they're trying to follow through. Down goes one. Char will get taken down. 1-for-0 and a Tree of Life for Team Non-Responsible.
Yeah, I don't really like that from Team Ultimate. Team Ultimate, they have to look for the all-in potential, maybe to one-shot XA. The Lena went onto the backline, but looks like KCW and Alta were both getting zoned off by the other Lena on their back, and they're just losing the 2v1 because they don't have the burst damage that both the Estelle and the Dema has, or the HP tank shred damage that those two have. So there's not really much they could do. They're just gonna lose their fight so much faster than the other side is going to be able to finish it. So Non-Responsible, they're going to be able to pick that one up there. They had the freeze. I mean, the Lena had a lot of damage. They had a lot of combo, but there wasn't no follow-up there. A little unfortunate. I think they're just too focused on that Lena that was on top of their backliner.
Indeed. Nimrod's Gate attempted from Kyunggi and 8, but nobody was in position to actually capitalize on it. I think it could have been a good opportunity if they actually had the opportunity to use the Nimrod's Gate to go on in, because they called out Dina. But no real biggie. Dejan Cyber still alive. A9. They use away. It doesn't take him all the way where he wants, but it doesn't matter. As always, Inchan a little bit too far away to actually capitalize on that opportunity as well. Non-Responsible sitting inside a chapel. It will close in just a moment. We also have Team Ultimate, who was inside a warehouse. They're going to be moving up as well. The entirety south side of the map is going to be closing for us. Dejan Cybers and Team Freya also looking for positioning on the western side of the map, as archery range is going to be contested between these two teams.
Yeah, Team Freya, they're gonna get a lot of poke damage, but Dina is playing that Eva, gonna get so much damage back in return. There is that box spawn in there. I know Freya wants it, they want to stay, but they're gonna have to take so much damage from Dina, and oh my god, they for it and immediately get punished. The Eva is just so much damage. They tried using the Nimrod's Gate to maybe get the box and pull the Alonso off, but it's just not gonna be fast enough. And it looks like the box or the item did go over to the side of, I think, team always Inchan there. Red, green, yellow. They don't want to take anything. They know there's another team nearby. They don't want to get third partied, so they're just gonna back on out of there.
That kill actually gives Dejan Cybers a
great ball, and
I don't know what the heck that was.
NXA
is dead.
No.
Twins rush. Nice attempt. Ruthless has already been invested. This is what Team Red, Green, and Yellow were looking for when they were trying to look for the third party angle. Lumino doesn't have the damage. They know that. Chen Yang, he's gonna get his fingers pointed at though. This is not looking good for Chen Yang. Oh, the red blue.
Oh, this is a full rainbow gonna catch him.
They're still trying to keep themselves alive.
And
The
they pull.
Spring Trap actually carries back Xenophine. I don't think that was what you were looking for, Xenophine. An uncharacteristic mistake on the angle.
Yeah, I think he unfortunately he just angled it wrong, right? Because if he angled it the other way, he would have been out there. He would have got pushed out, but angled it back into the enemy. That's just not a mistake you want to see from Xenophine there. And unfortunately, it's just gonna be a -200 for a team always Inchan. But it's not the end of the world, they did end up getting that box. I think the Estelle was one to pick it up, so they did end up coming out with, I would say, more than what was spent there. But yeah, very uncharacteristic mistake. Looks like Nutang is just gonna completely stick the kiosk there and ignore the members of Team Gang Innate. They're trying to get as much damage as possible, but the poke damage from Team Gang Innate is just way too much there. Looks like the Alina is gonna find an angle in. There's the Estelle ult, but it's gonna get completely locked down by the gate there. A lot of damage being exchanged, but Doss is just doing so much damage to this Alina, but there's a follow-up. It's not gonna connect onto any of the members of Team Gang Innate, and that's gonna be it for Team Non-Responsible. They're gonna go down here. Fortunately in 8th place with only 2 kills.
On to Tsubame. Okay, I don't know about that strategy, especially with the Elena when Dan's Macabre takes quite a while to actually activate. Tsubame has way too many easy ways to dodge out on that. You need to wait about a second before Dan's Macabre actually activates. Well, Tsubame has 3 skills that's going to be able to dodge out on it very easily, and then the other side also has even more utility to keep her alive. Don't know if that was the right call, and then they all invest into an initiation that completely failed. It should have been easily visible that it happened, but we see Twins Rush being invested, we see Helitax being invested. Not exactly sure if that was the right fight for Team Non-Responsible, and they do get heavily punished for it, will be knocked out of game number 3. 2 kills only as well. They're struggling, just barely peaked over the 11-point mark. And that's nothing in comparison to what the rest of the lobby is going to look like. Team Non-Responsible is 100% struggling right now.
Yeah, they're only on 9 points and only another 2 points there. It's not looking too good for them, but it is a checkpoint format. Definitely don't count them out just yet, and you could still make it back in as long as you know, just shut down the enemy team, just win games when the other teams are on checkpoint. It's no big deal, but it's going to be a tough road ahead of them for the series here. Getting in it, going to be caught in the middle between Team Always Incheon and Team Ultimate, but they do have that Arda. I'm just going to use that Arda to reposition once again. That Nimrod's Gate is coming in clutch for, you know, some of these teams. Just going to be able to get them on out of there.
Yep. Arda is making it really difficult for Always Incheon to reliably get an initiate in. I think Senefine has to play some really big roles here. The trumpets are going to be a big factor into why Team Always Incheon is going to be able to duke it out up against some of these Arda team compositions. The red box is what they're looking to contest for. They need to stop the Selena, and they aren't going to be able to at least pull her in for the time being, but did dissuade her from picking up the box. They're going to try continuing it in. This is a pretty thin corridor. It's kind of prime time for the Papyruses to go, but it's a fiesta inside a fire station. What on earth is going on over there? There's 3 different teams, as Revolut is the only one to get taken down. The fight inside of Hotel is going to begin. There is Ruthless coming out from Luminal, but the AoE crowd control.
My god!
And once again, it's KCW. How the hell does he find it? The third party is coming in from the north side, so Team Ultimate not going to be able to capitalize on it, but KCW once again is able to capitalize on his entire character's kit. Chenyoung is going to get knocked down too. 2-0 in favor of Team Ultimate, unless Chenyoung gets out. Absolutely not. KCW is on a roll today.
He gets the knock up, and then the freeze as well from the Elena just follow up, and there's just nothing Luminal can do. Luminal just completely chained down in CC, and he just dies. And once your Shoichi goes down, it's not enough damage for Team Always Incheon to really do anything there. Oh, maybe they get the res here. I don't think it's gonna happen. There is Team getting NH right behind them there. Do they have enough credits? I think they might just barely have enough here to get all their members back up.
They need about 40 more. I think they need about.
No, it's enough. It's enough.
Yeah, it is.
But
You're right.
they gotta get to a kiosk though, and yeah, look at the time. 10 seconds left. Look at Senefine's time. They're not gonna be able to get the rest here. It looks like they're just gonna go for Lumi, but there's team members right in.
Oh, they're encroaching.
Stop. Oh, gonna get the other one off. No, here's an Nimrod's Gate. Oh no.
It's gonna start zooming. There's
yeah,
the follow.
Dasu is gonna jump on in. There is the third party as well, and Always Incheon gonna go down in 7th place. You know, our star team coming out from the knockout stages just not able to find their footing in the finals.
Yeah, the miracle run from the looks of it as of right now is being stunted at the moment, but the series is not over yet. Whereas Gyeonggi and 8, 15. It's day
15.
5.
Oh my god, you're right.
It's day 5. What are these teams doing? Holy moly. And they're going to be able to find more. This is Jinho for you. This guy on the Tsubame is absolutely insane. Another fight is going to begin as Revolut looking for an angle up against KCW. Frailty's already been popped, but Daejeon Cybers is still looking for it. The quick spin, not really resulted in anything, but there's another fight on the eastern side of the map too. Pond is an absolute fiesta. There's a fight between Gyeonggi and 8 as well as Team Red, Green, and Yellow is going to pop off. Red, Green, and Yellow's got it. From the looks of it, Tazu, he is in trouble. Locked down with the red, yellow. Oh my goodness. Youngman got the damage. Not just yet. The Arda trying his best at the moment. The Papyrus is not going to be enough, and yet Tazu's just going to have to back away from this. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of red, green, yellow.
Oh no, they lost their Tsubame though, so they're going to be down a member here for the final zone. Ain't going to be down 2 members. Where is Lumi? Is Lumi anywhere? Seeing it on the map.
Credits though.
I don't see it. Yeah, they don't have enough credits. No, they should get it back from these bodies, but they're just, I don't see where Lumi is. I think Lumi is slowly rotating around the map from the bottom side, so might come up into Pond very, very shortly, and I might be able to get red, green, and yellow out of this deficit here. A lot of poke damage from Team Ultimate. Gonna go down to the side Team Cybers, and Team Cybers just gonna back on out of there.
All of our Arda teams still alive. We can
still have
ourselves a fun fiesta. Revolut moving in. KCW hasn't been spotted yet. It is still nighttime. There we go. Revolut in a little bit of trouble, but the damage output from Revolut is insane, and he dodges out.
The Lina gets a kill by freeze.
Oh, but the counter kill is there already as KCW got knocked down. It was a really nice crowd control from the Elena, but it's just not going to matter. FN Sejong duking it out up against red, green, and yellow. Youngman sitting up in the front side. He's trying to stay alive, but the Nimrod's Gate in, and he kills with the scroll. Oh my god, and the pillar pushes the Tsubame away, and down goes the entirety of red, green, and yellow.
Wow, they just played that so well. One circle hitting that crossbow skill as well onto the Alonzo. Like you said, a great pillar there coming out from Rheumatic to push the Tsubame just barely out of auto attack range, so they weren't able to finish Rheumatic there. Just so well played from Team FN Sejong. And on the other side, Yeah, it looks like Team Daeyoung Cybers, they were actually able to secure the zone there. Team Ultimate were on the back foot. Unfortunately, KCW getting completely soloed there by Revolta. Revolta just so much damage onto this Yan. This Yan not really going to have any response. They are on that Tonfa Yan. Not as tanky, you know, as the Glove Yan. And I mean, they do have that burst damage and that burst window, but, you know, the Yard having that exclusive is just way too much.
No, it wasn't even exclusive, man. I mean, they
Yeah,
just...
oh,
they
sorry,
just
not
got
exclusive,
ruled.
but Peacemaker.
The Peacemaker,
but
yeah.
he didn't even use the Peacemaker,
No,
yeah.
he just got
I
ruled.
saw. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Revolu is on point. Everybody that is alive still on point. Daejeon Cyphers is going to be an absolute pain to deal with for pretty much all of the teams remaining, but they do have the
All
artists,
teams
right?
are here.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's actually Gang A on the bottom side there, and I think Gang A are definitely the team to look out for. They're so strong, 16 kills already. So FN Sejong, they're gonna have to play into this team, into this 4-team final zone. They just want to make sure they get as much placement points as possible. They want to get like a couple picks here, because they want to get into checkpoint here, and they have the opportunity to.
Oh boy.
They're gonna use their Nimrod's Gate in. They're gonna take the 3v3 and take Team Gang A. Who's going to come out on top here? They got to win this one if they want to make it into the checkpoint breakpoint. There is the Nimrod's Gate in, but the damage return is so much, and that's going to be Ingnan going down. But look at it, look at the HP bars of Team FN Sejong. What a great crossbow
One
skill into
circle.
the wall. One circle. Just immaculate cardless gameplay from him, and he's just able to kite out, dodge all these abilities. That's going to be dodged.
And they're in.
FN Sejong.
They're in.
They're gonna be in. Yeah, they are already in checkpoint for game number 4 here. We see how fast a team usually goes in checkpoint, but will they be able to close out the series?
This again is Sejong. Dina is going to push Pro Line away. He's got 4 seconds left on his timer. Down they go. Daejeon Cyphers. As I said, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a pain for all these teams to fight into Team Daejeon Cyphers. But now they're the ones that have to push into a Carla Arda. Ooh, this is going to be rough. Nimrod's Gate is going to be the one thing that Team Daejeon Cyphers is going to have to look out for. And of all the zones for it to be, it's going to be Stream. Thin corridors everywhere. And once that Nimrod's Gate comes in, these characters that don't really have too much mobility besides the blink from both Revolu and Cadmus, like, they're dead, right? Even Dina is not going to be able to get away from it. I don't think blink and mobility is really going to get you out away from the Alonso, because you've been seeing these Nimrod Gates actually placed behind a lot of these teams, but like just like that, right? If Alonso took it, then where do you go? The only way is in towards the Carla and the Arda. That's really risky for a lot of these teams at the moment. So let's take a look at how Daejeon Cyphers deals with this. Double guillotines down on the ground. Don't think it's going to play that massive of a role, at least as of right now, right? Because it's 2-3 ranged characters looking for positioning inside the final zone. But they are still trying to get the poke. This is really beautiful plays from FN Sejong. They are countering this Ava damage with the lasers really well, positioning incredibly well too. Fingerprint is going to get cancelled out, but that's a lot of damage exchange. One circle taking down a half HP. Dina, Cadmus, and Revolu getting control of the final zone. There is the jump in, but the blink is going to come
blink
out.
Away.
And now the fight reset is going to begin. That is one blink. That's one blink.
I think Revolu also used their blink, or I don't know if it was a blink or a dash, but yeah, full reset here called out for Team FN Sejong. They know they got a lot invested. The next engage, the Eva's not gonna have their blink, so if the point connects onto the Eva there, and here it comes, they are just gonna go straight onto the Eva. Like I said, they're not gonna jump on in, gonna shut them down halfway through. But Dina is there for the response, and it's just so much damage with Revolu as well, and it's actually gonna be Team Daeyoung Cybers gonna be the one to come out on top in this team. Wait a second, Revolu or Romantic? No, he's gonna go down there. A nice clean 3-0 from Team Daeyoung Cybers, but that doesn't matter. Evan Sejong, they got what they wanted. They got 16 points for this game. 40 plus 16. That's gonna be 56, and you know what 56 is above? 55.
Hell yeah.
So they're gonna be in that checkpoint breakpoint, and they're going to be our first team to try to close out the series here.
Indeed, and congratulations to Daejeon Cybers. They're going to be able to overtake the entire crusade of the artists that were inside of that lobby. Well played to these teams, man. One of the roughest matchups for a triple backliner is going to be that Arda, especially when you have an Alonso staring just straight at you in the face. Funny enough, one rotation from Alonso did half HP to the Ava, but he stood his ground and started pumping out the damage with the lasers.
The Eva just completely ignored the Alonso there, and great follow-up from Dina there, just to completely obliterate the HP bars of the backliners of Team FN Sejong there, and very, very nice play. Very, very good follow-up. And yeah, that sealed the deal there. I think the all-in potential, they tried to look for that all-in. They took the Artist Gate in, tried to follow up with the Alonso, but immediately got punished for it.
Indeed. Guys, yesterday Superior said that there is a possibility we go 4 games. You pop in during game number 4, you might not have a series to watch, and that actually becomes a possibility at this point. We might actually have ourselves an end at game number 4, because we're going to go back to Midens, to FN Sejong on the Theo comp, right? We're not going to have the
Yeah,
Arda
that
anymore.
is
We're
true.
going back to Nadine Theo as well as the Mai. It is one of the more staple compositions of Team FN Sejong, and everybody in the lobby is going to have to deal with it. But at the same time, if they do run that, it's so plainly obvious who Mida and Sejong is, and then the actual handshakes could start happening. So I'm really interested to see what the strategy for FN Sejong is going to be. I definitely think it would still work in their favor to run the Theo Nadine just because it is a comfort pick. But if you're looking at it from the grand scheme of things, it could also hurt your team composition instead.
Yeah, the problem is the Theodore, the Alonso, or the Theodore, the Mai. It's really easy. It's really susceptible to getting third-partied, right? If there's 2 teams that's gonna be running at you, it's gonna be a little rough for you to get out of there. But the Arda, right? The Arda pick, a really versatile pick with the Nimrod's Gate to get your team on out if you do get third-partied. So I think it's gonna be a little harder for Team Mira Sejong, or sorry, FN Sejong to close out the series with their next team comp, but
Well,
you know,
don't have to
it is
worry
FN
about
Sejong.
it.
It is FN Sejong.
Arda's also
They got the
banned.
Theodore. Arda is banned, yeah, that is true, but with them not having Arda, I think it's going to be a little more rough.
True.
But I do think, if they're strong enough, right, and they just hold down the zone, they just bunker down, they start placing down cameras, they start placing down guillotines, they just zone off other teams with the Theodore, with the Nadine. It might be fine for them to maybe take a 3v3, but I highly doubt these other teams are going to let them take a free zone for that temporary final zone. I think we're going to see a lot of handshaking going on here because, the first team that goes into checkpoint, it always happens. You always see them. They're popping off. They look like the best team in the tournament. And, they probably are, doing the best in the tournament, and they probably are the best team. But unfortunately, with these checkpoint formats, that's just how it goes. It's just how it goes. You gotta play to your outs. If you are these other teams, you gotta make sure you shut down this team that's in checkpoint.
Indeed. A lot of politics that could happen in the next game, Super. This is going to be an interesting one. We know for sure that there was one team in checkpoint. All the other teams are probably not that close. I guess the only team that could be that close is Gyeonggi and 8. But they didn't really get too many placement points. They're going to be made up by the number of kills they had. I wonder where they're going to be sitting in, because pretty much the entire middle of the pack, save for non-responsible, we're sitting mid to high 10s or low 20s. So a 16-kill game bomber from Gyeonggi and 8 might actually shoot them all the way up into 40. There might not be that much of a breathing space for FN Sejong.
That is true. Gating did get a lot of points there. It was like 17 kills, 5th, 4th place, so that's like 20 points for them. So maybe sitting at like 30 to 40 points. All these teams are slowly catching up. You are correct, and we actually might have a pretty short series. It might not even go to 7 or 8 games just because there's just been so many kills going around for these lobbies.
Oh my God, score sheet is going to be very interesting. Wow. This is. Again, it might be a short series, absolutely, but the expectations that I had for the series is really being met. I talked about it last game before we went in, or actually maybe I talked about it before we went on break. Let's take a look at the score sheet, though. Is the score sheet going to define my expectations? No, there is a breathing space for FN Sejong. 37 for Gyeonggi and 8, despite the 16-kill bomber. They placed themselves 2 field kills below FN Sejong, but the placement point difference is massive.
That is how much placement point difference is that?
19.
It's like 19 placement points. Because I think Gang in, unfortunately, they had a bad game number 1, and yeah, that's quite the difference, right? And it just goes to show you, you gotta win games. You can't just get kills. You can't be kill thirsty. You gotta make sure you close out these games as well. It's a lot of points in these placement points. They Young Cybers, they're also on 34 as well, so they're only 21 points away. So if they just get like a 13 kill win, they can definitely make it into checkpoint for game number 5 as well. it's just going to be FN Sejong. They have such a big buffer here. Can they close out the series?
That's the question, right? That's always the question with FN Sejong. Can they actually close out the series? You have no idea how many times they have gotten to this point just to only be gypped at the last second. It has happened numerous number of times, and I know FN Sejong is constantly reminded of this. It's like a curse for that team. The best team in the world. I can probably say that with a certain degree of certainty. But this team always gets wrecked right during checkpoint because they get in there super early. They have a really, really good series, but they can't ever finish it out, whether it's to politics, they get unlucky. The chain of these things happening over and over and over again is just a bane of existence for FN Sejong. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. And these teams are they're just not gonna let them, take the free win here, right? So they're definitely gonna fight tooth and nail. They're gonna make sure they're gonna do everything in their power to stop FN Sejong from winning this game. But we're gonna have to see if FN Sejong is gonna be able to close it out here. We've seen them get into this position plenty of times. Maybe this time they have an answer. Maybe they gonna plan around it. But there's just so many variables. It's gonna be really, really hard for them to finish it off here.
Yes, sir. Really excited to see what teams are going to be bringing to the table for our next game. With the Alonso and Arda gone, a lot of safety nets are going to be gone, as you mentioned earlier. But at the same time, with Mai coming back, that should be a staple that a lot of teams are going to divert back onto. Just comes down to what the supporting characters in the backside with damage as well as maybe mages coming alongside is going to be. I think if the Arda Alonso on all of our odd number games, right? Because the Ardas are going to be so prevalent, we should see the same comps 1-3, maybe even like 5-7 if we even get there. But for the even number of games, there's a lot of flexibility. Just having that Mai and Estelle being the front line, you have a lot of versatility on what you can actually play on the backside with it. Whereas if you start playing the Arda Alonso, then you're kind of limited to what you can go, right? You need a pure damage dealer that can continuously follow up on what your Alonso and the Arda is actually doing.
100%. I don't know if we're gonna see them play like a more slow-paced game because every time they go on checkpoint, we always see them. They're always just trying to scale up for the late game. I mean, that's what you want to do. You don't want to take any unnecessary risk when you're on checkpoint. But at the same time, you kind of have to balance it where you have to go for these team wipes to make it so there's less teams in the final zone. Because the more teams there are in final zone, the more teams are just gonna start contesting your zone because they know you're on checkpoint. And if there's maybe 4 or 5 teams that are just eyeing out to try to take you down, it really doesn't matter how strong you are. If there's gonna be 12 players just funneling on in.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun. It really is just not going to be fun. Again, if you've been watching Eternal Return Masters for a long time, you guys, it's not an uncommon story.
it's so funny watching checkpoint format when there's like so many teams, especially in like ERM, because I remember there's this one. I still vividly remember the one checkpoint series. I think it was in stream. There was a team just stuck in stream. You had one team coming in from red through temple, wrapping around. You had one team coming in from the bottom side of temple. You had one team coming in from the top, and then one team coming from hospital somewhere. And there's not really nothing that one team could do. They tried pushing in to that team flanking from temple, but there's just way too many players that are just piling on in because they got to make sure that checkpoint team doesn't win.
Checkpoint lore goes crazy in Eternal Return Masters, man. These teams, as I said before too, I think I told you this, and a lot of people in chat might also remember it. If it's too obvious, then KR doesn't like it. There's a perfect balance in between like intentionally doing it, but then strategically doing it. It's really fun.
Yeah.
There was a whole debacle in the Discord server between the players during an ERM for it making it look like an extremely obvious kind of handshake moment between teams. And teams were ballistic about that. But then when you take a look at plays like we saw from Auto Arms last phase going into Pawn up against Team Gyeongnam Sparkles, like that's a strategic play, right? So they put themselves up in the front line. They put themselves in risk to deny Team Gyeongnam Sparkles. Those are the plays that I want to see. The strategic part of Eternal Return Masters when the team gets into checkpoint is really all about the mind games. How well do you know what the situation of the map is looking like? Self-awareness, situational awareness. Like you can put any awareness in for some of these teams and it's all going to apply. That is how important it is for these teams to deny these checkpoint teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how the cookie crumbles as well, right? Like, you just have to, like, if you want to make sure you're gonna be able to play another game in the tournament, right, in the checkpoint format, like, you just have to do what you have to do. You gotta make sure the checkpoint team does win. You know, it's just how it's just how it goes sometimes, right? Like, there's just not much that's the other teams can do. Obviously, you can't make it too obvious, but at this point,
You
right?
gotta do
Like,
it.
yeah, you just have to. You just have to.
I know a lot of people have issues when it comes to dealing with it, but a lot of those issues come from people who actually dealt with it, right? And it makes sense. It makes sense. If you had to deal with a situation where you're in checkpoint and just denied because other people are understanding of the lobby situation, it's always gonna suck. But from the spectator side of standpoint, it
Yeah, I mean, it's
definitely
fun.
makes
It's
sense.
fun to watch.
Yeah. You can
I
see.
mean, that's the whole reason. That's the whole reason why they have the checkpoint, right? It's
Yeah,
it's really entertaining to watch because all these teams, or sometimes it's just like really underwhelming when like a team just goes 8th place and they win the tournament because they just had the most points. But now you have to basically win the game, and it's just really entertaining to watch. You see all these teams just struggling or just trying to make sure the checkpoint team doesn't win. And then you get to that golden round where there's maybe like 5-6 teams, all on checkpoint. It all comes down to that one final game, and yeah, I mean, it just brings in that X factor.
It's so funny. You can physically see these teams' brains just like rolling information out. They're just pumping numbers at that point, figuring out what the calculations are looking like. Ooh, oh my goodness. I know it's taking a little bit of a long time. I think I saw the games actually starting in chat about a minute or two ago, so we should be heading in very soon. Maybe they had some issues with connections or something. I'm sure it's all going to be fine. But while we're waiting, I want to ask you guys in chat too. We've had an entire season worth of phases that we've already had. What do you guys think about the new phase system, right? The new system of ERM. I'm personally in favor of it. I think you and I have been talking about this quite a lot, especially during phase number 1, whenever we had a chance to talk about how this new phase system looks. We both talked really optimistic about it, but I want to know what chat thinks about it. It's been real fun. But at the same time, the schedule is quite arduous. I will definitely say.
Yeah, it is. It is it's like for 2 weeks, and it's 8 games every day, so it's a lot of games.
Yeah.
And I definitely enjoy casting a lot of games, but yeah, and it is also split up into 2 phases instead of 3 now, right? We only have 2 phases as well, and it gives a lot more teams or a lot more teams that wouldn't be able to make it to ERM a chance to play in like on the big stage. So I think it's pretty cool, and I think it's more healthy for the competitive scene. But yeah, it is a lot more games for us to cast. So yeah, personally, I prefer the other the other.
Yeah, you say personally.
The
People in
other,
chat are like
but,
going ballistic, saying, "Yeah, this is what we want. More games." I have a lot of fun watching these games regardless, whether or not it's more games. I know I always get tired. I know I always meme about how I want to go to sleep, but it's good games of Eternal Return. I say this all the time too, right? Like,
100%.
that's just what I want to watch.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just a good Eternal Return as well, right? We know how good these teams are. Like, even the teams that did end up, getting knocked out in knockout stage 1, it's still really hard to get to, the big stage for ERM, right? Gotta qualify. Gotta get into like the immortal rank to qualify. You gotta make sure you top 2 out of the qualifiers, and then on top of that, right, you have to perform. So, oh wait, we have 3 bans going into game number 4.
Estelle is banned too.
We have the Estelle ban as well, and yeah, we're gonna see all these teams gonna be swapping over to that Mai.
All right,
not only are they gonna lock in this. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
Somebody in chat earlier said that Robotic really wants to play Hadu. It's not happening, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's just hovering it just to bait out maybe some of these picks, some of these counter picks. It looks like Mira said, FN Sejong, they're gonna go back to their original team comp. Mai, once again, it's gonna be 6 Mai's this time around. So Mai is gonna be off the table. A lot of Mai's for this game. That's over 75% of the lobby here gonna be on Mai.
Yeah, basically the same as last game. Well, I should say last game, but I mean game number 2. The only difference is the fact that I think Kyungkwae has to swap off of the Estelle, and correspondingly Nulung also had to. Oh, sorry, not Kyungkwae, but Nulung has to stave off of the Estelle, and they're gonna supplement it with the Priya instead. Although this is a comp that they have played before, so it's nothing too surprising for you and I. We know all these picks. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, do we have any other bands? I think it's only the My band coming out here.
Yeah, I think so too. Everything else has been quite unique. I do see 2 hearts, but that's about it.
Not responsible. Yeah, they ended up swapping over because they were playing that Estelle plus Alina, but since Estelle got banned, they're gonna be on that My and that Priya now. So yeah, another My pick gonna be, or another My gonna be picked up for game number 4 because that Estelle did end up getting banned. So yeah, it's gonna be 1 extra My this time. I think last time it was 5 My's. This time it's gonna be 6. So
There's
yeah, a
actually
lot of
5
My's.
There's actually 5. I think you might have mistook the color of Justine's hair as My.
Wait, oh.
Yeah, there's only 5.
Oh,
There's
there
only
are 5
5.
My's. Okay, okay.
It's alright. It's alright. She's not as broken. It seems like.
But it is that the same amount? Because I don't remember if that was, if it was 5. I think
so.
because non-responsible swap, so that means another team must have swapped off My as well.
Yeah, I think there was 2 Estelles in game number 2. I think there were 4 My's in
Okay,
game
now
number
there's
2.
5. So,
yeah, now
so there's still 1
5.
extra. But yeah, not gonna be that 75. No, they do have the My. The Freya does have a My.
Yeah. No, non-responsible swapped off the Estelle.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
There we
Okay,
go.
yeah, it is 5. It is 5 because Ultimate, Gayong Innate, and yeah, Dayong Cybers. Yeah, so it is 5 My's, but
wait.
still
no.
quite a bit.
Wait, who swapped off their other thing? Was it Team Freya? What was Team Freya playing? Now I'm getting
Team
confused.
Freya was on
myself.
this comp. It was non-responsible that swapped.
No, they had the wait, was it? No, they had the My. I thought it was
No,
My
non-responsible was
Estelle.
on. No, non-responsible was on Estelle Alina, and then Estelle's banned now, so they're on.
Oh, they had Elena.
My Priya.
You're
Yeah.
right. Okay, see, this is how small my brain is, everybody. All right, here we go. Picks are gonna start to begin. KCW stuck in the middle of nowhere by himself. Ruthless has already been invested, and Ignite is just cooking inside the bush. Third party coming in, Team Freya. This is something that we've seen all too often. Jump over the wall, and oh my God, Dazu doesn't see it.
Oh, no.
But you know what the heck? Okay, there's the auto attack. What the hell is going on here?
No, he didn't even get the kill there.
Oh,
he
did it?
did go over to Freya, and
there's
Freya is
get
gonna
that.
try getting. Oh, does get Justina at least there, and it's gonna be Team Freya gonna have to jump over the wall. And yeah, Team Freya gonna be able to get 2 kills. It's gonna be Cemetery once again, gonna be that deadly zone. Again, ain't gonna lose another member this time too. It's gonna be red, green, and yellow. So 2 kills gonna be picked up to the side of Team Red, Green, and Yellow. Non-responsible. Looks like they might have a pick here. No, looks like Tia is gonna be able to get out of there.
Quite the funniest business we're back on to. Still got 20 seconds until night number 1. Look at how many teams are on the minimap at the moment. We're still going to see Fiestas as Green Apple trying to jump onto Char, but there's a ton of teammates from Ultimate around this area. Day 9,
Over the wall,
himself
yes.
over the wall, and will dodge out on the Danse Macabre. He still doesn't have a hat though, so
That's true.
this
His
guy
cooldowns
is
are going to be pretty long. He's only on
behind. He's level 7.
15 CDR as well, so the Mai is not going to get the catwalk up in time, and Ultimate will be able to pick him up, and Team Ultimate going to be on 3 kills already, going to be able to get those dogs in Cemetery as well, so a nice tempo swing from them. On the other side, non-responsible, going to be able to pick up, looks like Team Freya's Mai there, so going to get a nice kill for themselves there. Defense Sejong. It looks like they're just farming, they're trying to get as much farm as possible. You see this from teams time and time again. Just gonna make sure they could get their 4-score buy-ins. You could see their credit count compared to these other teams. They're already about 40, 50 credits above some of these teams here. So great tempo swing from them.
Yeah, Batman Sejong, Daejeon Cybers, compare and contrast the credit count compared to everyone else in the lobby, everybody. This is exactly what the split farming is useful for. Split farming, if coordinated, will get you so much return. The return on investment for this is insane. If you continuously get killed, obviously it's not going to be worth like this for Team Gyeonggi. But we haven't really seen too many players from Daejeon Cybers actually dying, so this is actually kind of fine. Dina and Cadmus sticking together, they might actually pick themselves up a couple extra kills with the Faith and Wavering popping in. Catwalk is out, I think Day 9 is out. Denana falling down as well, but that's only one member from FN Sejong. That's not even mainly the farmer of this team either. They're finding so much around the map, there is nothing to farm anymore.
Yeah, they're on 260 credits apiece already going into nightmare number 1. Unfortunately, though, that death timer might make it so they're not going to be able to have a good objective contest just because, you know, the Mai is going to come up. I mean, it's going to be 7 seconds before the first objective, but going to have to rest up. Going to give positioning over to another team. It looks like they're trying to contest for this meteor. But like I said, the Mai going to teleport in onto half HP already. I don't know if Ultimate's going to be able to punish for that. On the other side, though, Daeyoung Cyber is going to be able to get a nice 2-for-0 on the side of Team I think that was Team Red, Green, and Yellow there, and yeah, look, it's going to be Team Ultimate going to be able to get 2 kills from FN Sejong. Like I said, Mai unfortunately dying early there just cost Team FN Sejong that team fight just because Mai spawned in at half HP. Ultimate just right there to immediately punish. Gege going to be able to pick up a nice 2 kills as well.
The fact that they're supplementing this 2 characters, it's KCW on the Yan as well as Chur on the Elena, they have been a staple to this, right? They haven't been banned at all, Elena or the Yan, throughout the entire course of this phase, and every single time we see this happen, they're always flip-flopping between the Arda as well as the Carla. Because Arda is actually getting banned a lot, I love the fact that they're supplementing with bonus damage instead of more safety that you would think if you're trying to substitute an Arda out. I love it, I love it, I love it. FN Sejong a little bit on the back end, as they're not going to be able to pick up the Tree of Life here either. Green Apple going to be using that one for the Petal Torrent. That's going to be a pretty good boost in damage for that team. Everybody else looking for more fights. As Luminal in a little bit of trouble. He's going to dodge out on the taunt, but I don't think he has really leniency on getting himself out. There it is. Kill going in favor of Team Freya, sitting on 4 already. These guys are also popping off too. 4, 3, 3, 6. The kill counts are high.
I mean, Senafine, yeah, just completely split there. I think always Incheon just trying to get as much farm as possible as well. But, you know, being split up there, I'm not going to be able to take that team fight. I'm going to be playing that 2v3, so great pickup for Team Freya. Going to be able to get that kill. Sitting on 4 kills already, so a really nice spot for them to be in. Going to have the next objective being shown on the map that we got a Alpha. Going to be spawning in Cemetery here. A lot of teams slowly corralling to this. We got Team Red, Green, Yellow, Team Ultimate there. Try to look in. It's going to be Team Daeyoung Cybers. Going to be able to get the 1-up onto Team FN Sejong once again. 1 circle going down. A kicker there for Revolt to keep him alive. That's going to be Romantic going to be the one to try to stay alive for his team here.
Yeah, he stepped out of the Peacemaker. Just a little bit of right-clicking mistake. That's all good and dandy. But this is putting Team FN Sejong kind of behind. They haven't even bought their Force cores yet. We're about to go into night number 2. This is definitely behind pacing of Team FN Sejong, considering their early game split farming tactic actually kind of worked. Right, they're really behind on credits now.
100%, 100%.
Well,
and
they're
they're gonna go up into
everybody.
archery here, or maybe they're gonna. Yeah, I think they're waiting for, or Romantic's waiting for a call on 1 circle and then on to see which zones are free. It looks like they're actually gonna take B on to beach here, gonna get the bears and probably gonna try to get some call-ins. Great damage coming in for non-responsible. And they're actually gonna use their ultimate, gonna jump on board there. Luminal gonna try coming on in with the Ruthless. Not gonna get that much damage, not that much value, and a great exclusive coming out for the Mai. And it looks like Senafine will go down there. NXA gonna be able to pick that one up. Just way too much sustain for the side of Team Non-Responsible. Now, always Incheon not gonna be able to do that much damage and not gonna be able to do much just yet. Luminal still probably only on maybe 2 to 3 items here. Gonna need that Blood Dagger, gonna get penetration to go through the side of Team Non-Responsible.
At least they're able to craft their items. I saw a 4-score earlier in the inventory of Senafine. If they lost that, that would have been even more devastating. This team desperately needs damage right now, and from the past couple of games we've seen so far, this lobby is already acclimated to always Incheon. Something that I've been really scared about for this team as they moved on towards the end of the knockout stages is that when they get to the finals, it's all teams that have already dealt with the Shoichi in the past. They know what's going to be happening. They know how, and they all have strategies against it, especially FN Sejong. It's every single time always Incheon fights this team, they just get overran.
Yeah, they just know how to play into the Shoichi really well. You just have to, you know, focus the Shoichi down. The Shoichi gets CC'd at any point in the fight. You have to make sure you follow up your CC, you layer the CC on top of that to make sure you kill that Shoichi. And you just have to make sure you split you split your forces as well, right? If you're all stacking up on top of each other, it's really easy for you those resets to just dash through and just obliterate your team. So you're absolutely correct. I think you know, into the later stages of the series, we're seeing that these teams just, you know, they just know how to play around the Shoichi.
Yep, 1 circle, if anything, is probably one of the best at coordinating his team to make sure all of the aggression stacks onto one person he lands a Spark Nade on at the same time if he has the Theo. Let's see if they're going to be able to do anything up against Team Non-Responsible, though. Fighting for the Tree of Life again inside of Force from the looks of it for this team. Whereas on the eastern side of the map, Team Ultimate duking it out up against the members of Team Freya. I think Proline's going to fall. Mojum shouldn't really have too much here, but the Blink is going to come on through. He will keep himself alive. Fighting inside of Force, looking pretty good for Team Non-Responsible. It's the Energy Blast Field used pretty defensively, but the shield, oh my god, the auto attacks are there. They had such a good idea on backing away and it looked good for a second, but Non-Responsible, they're also not gonna be able to fall back.
He just completely obliterates Team Non-Responsible. He threw his Spark Nade and then put up the wall the second the Spark Meat was flying through, so I wasn't even expecting it to hit all three, but it just spread to all three because of how he kind of utilizes his wall there. And wow, it's just FN Sejong, it's just one circle, just able to completely get all three members of Team Non-Responsible. NXA is going to be alive though after the whole debacle there, but there is going to be a team. Young NA going to be walking down here. It's going to be a little tough for Team Non-Responsible to get back into this game here. I think NXA probably going to have to jump the wall here. Maybe try going into Chapel, get the res there. But yeah, they're actually going to walk into Forest, and Evan Sejong should definitely see this here. Gonna try avoiding the cams. I do like that.
And he should also see the pings, right? NXA just built something, but Omega's in here too. That actually makes it really bad for NXA. If he steps on this, look at FN Sejong, they're coming down, NXA doesn't know!
Oh no, he doesn't know, and that's it for Team Non-Responsible. They're gonna go down in 8th place. That's gonna be huge for FN Sejong. You wanna make sure you have less amount of teams for that final zone here. Looks like the Young Cybers got the one up on the side of Team Red, Green, Yellow. Trying to get out of here, but the laser damage is just way too much. And Dina will just completely eviscerate the Maya there. It's gonna be Green Apple gonna be the one to rat it out.
Oh, but look at their credits, every time. I'm telling you, there are certain teams that just never have credits. It seems like they're farming well, seems like they're transitioning well, but whenever their team falls, they never have the credits to actually res them back, and this is going to put Team Red, Green, and Yellow so far behind. It's going to take forever getting the Tia res back, and is it even worth it to res the Tia first? It's so risky, right? You might as well go for the Mai if you're looking for safety, because she's much better at getting away at anything than a Tia is going to be. But then do you then you put the Tia behind? There's a lot of things that you have to think about in this case, right? Red, Green, and Yellow, they're not going to be able to get these reses back until well into day number 4. Hoping it goes a little bit better for them. This team has always been the explosive setup of a team. These guys showing us some really good results with the Tsubame on Green Apple. Same thing for Youngman on the Tia. Of course, it's Youngman after all.
Oh my god, FN Sejong just got handed to them. Transition and a meteor right after killing Omega as well. Oh god, that is scary for that is going to be scary for the rest of the lobby here. Look at the credits as well. Look at the items on Team FS. Only night 3. They got 4 items on the Nadine, full item on Theodore, 2 items on Mai. They're saving for that blood now. Oh god.
Mai's not supposed to have 2 transitions with a setup like this, but that meteorite, Mai's pretty flexible when it comes to transitions, and yeah, you know, Centipede's Boulder might not be the most effective transition. There are so many other good arm pieces for tanks nowadays, but you'll take what you can get.
Yeah, Centipedes is still good. 20 defense with like 200, about 200 to 300 HP.
Pure
only a meteorite.
HP.
That is pretty solid.
God.
Oh no, Green Apple.
Oh god.
Not checking bushes and immediately gets punished for it. It's a tale as old as time, and the credits gonna go over to 1 circle, and he's gonna have enough for that blood buy now.
Yep, night number 4 is now what we're looking at for Team Red, Green, and Yellow. It is a Tia, so she can farm up really effectively in comparison to something like a Tsubame, right? Especially up against some mutant animals, she's gonna be able to just chunk them down, but again, it's gonna take forever. They're sitting at a total of about 266 credits among all 3 of them right now. 140 needs to be farmed. And remember, when you're dead, the only credits you get is from the animals that are hunted. You don't get passive generation, so that's probably somewhere around maybe 60 to 70 credits that this Tia needs to farm off of animals alone. Natural generation alone isn't going to cut it until night 4.
Wow, if that's such oh look, Danana has 2 trees in their inventory there. I don't know what they're saving for. Oh my god, a great 3-man spring trap, and here's the ultimate coming out from Luminal. So much damage, and Proline is just gonna go down. Very nice fight there for our team. Always Incheon. I'm gonna get some farm back. Maybe gonna kill these dogs, get as much credits as possible. Try to get the res maybe in Chapel here, but yeah, it's gonna be a little rough now. Ojum just gonna walk away. I think they seem to beeline it to the res here in Chapel, but they're trying to take the fight here. Trying to avoid the cams, but can't really be scared of the other team. You kind of just have to book it into Chapel there. But unfortunately, yeah, they're gonna go down. Freya down 2 members, going to be a minus 400 for them. The Young Cybers, oh wow, the Young Cybers also looks really strong. 2 bloods for both the carries of the side of Team Young Cybers. And the Young Cybers were the ones that did end up shutting down Team FN Sejong. So it's gonna be up to them maybe to try to send us to a game 5.
But you have to remember that it was with this comp, if Sejong was able to stop it, they're going to fight pretty early. Good damage over on towards Revolu. He's actually going to be forced to use the Peacemaker up. And we do see the aggression coming from Romantic once again. Down goes
Oh
Tina.
my god.
The aggression, he goes straight in. No fear. How do you do it? Revolu is in trouble.
Oh,
There's
no.
teams below him. Look at this. This is not good. There's a Mai sitting underneath him right now.
Oh, he's gonna run straight into
It's
the dude. He's not
over.
gonna
Dead
check.
Cybers
He's
are
not
gonna
gonna
be dead.
check.
Dead on
And
Cybers
Cybers
are
are out.
gone. The adversaries that could potentially stop FN Sejong are gone now. Let's take a look. Exploded is going to be the heart. Dazu had no chance to even use the Peacemaker. Down goes yet another as A9 on the Yuki's going to get ripped to shreds.
And they get
FN
Wick.
Sejong has Wick. FN Sejong has Wick. They're going to slowly choke the life out of this entire lobby as we go. Full rainbow down. Tia is still gone. Youngman will be dead. Red, green, and yellow. No
Oh
time to
my
recover
God.
from this. KCW, that is a beautiful shackling anchor, but it's just going to be countered out by the jump pad. This lobby is in trouble, Super. We might actually have a round 4 end on our hands on the KR-ERM. What is this?
They are looking so strong, but you can't count out the handshakes. There's still hope. There's
That's what
still
needs to
hope
happen.
in this lobby as long as these teams are contesting. But you know, at the same time, you have to think about how much do you want to contest? Because if your spot in the standings is good enough, you know, you don't really have to play for the win, right? You get as much placement points as possible. You maybe get a second place. That's good enough for you to qualify for the finals. You're probably happy with taking the second place there. But if the teams are looking to eye for that win, they gotta make sure they shut down FN Sejong. There needs to be some 3v6s, 9v3s going on here.
Yeah.
It's not looking good for the rest of the lobby.
Yeah, and the problem is with the Wicca line, teams are going to be even more disincentivized to actually fight that team, right? Which means, oh, unless this happens, where's the Ruthless? There it is. Proline trying to get himself out, and the positioning of the baseballs are so good, but the timer.
Nice.
Oh,
no,
factory's
you're right.
opening.
Look.
It's completely fine. Mojo is trying to get himself out. He needs to get the lasers. He needs to get the energy charging. He needs the movement.
So hard to chase in this character, though.
He needs the movement speed. He needs the movement speed.
Oh,
Get him out.
he gets
The
caught.
lasers, the energy depletion. Okay, he's out for now. Oh my goodness, the slow stacking on top of each other. The mobility is still there. This is still the previous patch where she gets the bonus movement speed for using up all of her energy. Oh.
Yeah, it's so hard to chase into a UC now. Just so much slows and so much just mobility from this character. So no surprise that Yusina did end up getting away there, but did end up using their blink. So the blink will be down for another 90 seconds for the side of Team Freya. You saw the items. Oh my god, look at one circle.
Blood
Look at his
Crown.
items.
Is he sitting
Blood
on
Crown, red
is he sitting on more than
shoes.
1,000 amp right now?
That is 3 blood items for the Theodore there, and they have Wick line, so they're probably just gonna start forcing these teams on out of here. Red, green, yellow, only 2 members. I think they're gonna get caught here by the side of Team FN Sejong. I don't know if they're gonna contest. I don't think anyone is gonna want to contest Team FN Sejong. It's gonna be so hard to, because of how strong they are. It's like 4 to 5 bloods for that team. But you know, we've seen it before. We've seen FN Sejong in such a dominating position, and just 2 teams is enough to do it and to shut them down. But don't know if we'll see it in this game.
Yeah, the only problem is right now in this lobby, the only threat I see up against FN Sejong's Theo is this Elena, and that alone cannot be enough, right? Everything else in the lobby is very limited in terms of its range. Even the Yuki is very limited in range. No matter how much we think this guy has range, it's not going to pair up against that Theo, right? FN Sejong is never going to let that happen. You have the Mai sitting up in front. You got even more safety net. You've seen how psychotic Romantic has been playing these games so far. You are just not going to have an easy run into this.
They just have zone control as well, and all the teams, they're not gonna fight.
God.
Looks like they're not gonna funnel into FN Sejong, although
There's
they
no
kind of
VLS
need
here.
to, but it's so hard to because it's a Theodore, it's a Nadine, they already have zone control. It's so hard to push into them. They're so strong. They got 4 to 5 bloods. It looks like everyone just gonna be playing their own game. They just want to get as much points as possible. Oh wait, FN Sejong though, they're actually not going to take full zone control just yet because they want to play safe. They want to make sure no one knows where they are for this zone. And here comes the engage, the fight between Team Freya and Always Incheon. The Mai's gonna get locked down a little bit. Luminal gonna try looking for an angle, and Poline already cut down to half HP. The Mai here, Luminal find it. The throw skill was big, and it completely disrupted their flow. Luminal wasn't able to find any angle in. Here comes the third party from red, green, and yellow. I don't think Team Freya can get on out of there. They're stuck in the middle. Mojo is gonna go down. I don't think this Mai can get away either. Mai's kind of stuck, and that's not good for the lobby here. Members are dying from another from one of the teams that they need to try to shut down FN Sejong, and Freya will lose 2 members here. It looks like FN Sejong is actually going to take full zone control on Forest.
Man.
Oh no.
Oh
Yeah.
man, and the only other X factor I was thinking about in my head was this William, because you never know, right? We saw what Yona was able
They're
to
gonna get
do
full
during
zone
knockout
control,
stage
yeah.
number 5. Proline's
It's gonna be
try
up to-
TPing. Oh,
It's just gonna be up to the
God,
winner
he's just
of.
dead.
Yeah, it's just gonna be up to the winner.
If Ultimate doesn't win, I think the chances of this lobby ending in Game 4 is gonna be high, dude. FN Sejong, they could finally have the chance. And by the way, it's a Chapel Final Zone 2 up against the Theo Nadine? Are you serious?
I mean, if the cemetery zone ends quick, they could, like, the team that wins cemetery can get zone control first. But if FN Sejong gets it, it's gonna be
Bro,
low.
it's actually cooked. Holy moly, this is literally, if FN Sejong loses this, they're never overcoming that allegations, man. It's just not happening. They're positioning themselves a little bit over to the eastern side, still blocking players
Yeah,
away.
they're gonna get
They
the
are gonna
full
get a
zone
free
control by
kill.
themselves.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This is their game to win.
No.
This is their game to win. We got 4 teams on the bottom side here.
There's 4 teams in this zone too. Okay, this one we're gonna have to pay attention to a
teams in
little bit
cemetery.
more. That Yuki is actually cooked, right? Like he's dead. Oh no, it was the
Yeah,
William. He's
they're just
dead.
getting in is just gonna full send it on to ultimate here. They don't have timer. They know they need to take the team fight outside of the zone here. Can they get anything? Alto just getting so much value on the card. Getting in, it just completely sends it in. And here's the third party. It's gonna be Team Red, Green, Yellow. They're gonna be the ones to clean up Team Getting In 8.
Oh,
and
boy.
another third party is gonna be Team Always Incheon, gonna be the ones to come out as well.
Yeah, none
and
of
I think
these
that's
teams
gonna
are-
mean Team FN Sejong
Yeah.
gonna be able to get the zone for free. But if the team is gonna be Team Always Incheon,
It's not happening.
they are our main man. They are our main man. We know
God.
they've come out from the qualifiers. It's gonna be up to them to stop Team FN Sejong here.
They need
Luminal,
to
Luminal can
run.
do it. Luminal can do it.
Yep, they need to run.
Luminal is
20
on
seconds.
5 items with 1 blood. Like we've
but the
seen Luminal do it.
Mai! She's sitting on
We've
just
seen-
blazing dress.
Okay, they're a little poor, but I've seen Luminal win these. I've seen Luminal. Luminal has done it before. Luminal has done it in the past.
Yep, he's done it in the past. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Final desperation calls coming through for Team for Team, what is it? Always Incheon. 4 scores being called out. This Mai needs to be tanky. 4 transition Mai on the other side. We're gonna have 2 at most for Team Always Incheon. They need to come up with a miracle for this. Oh god, the squirrel trap's going down. They have information
Exclusive
plastered
as well.
everywhere. Cameras
All
are
right,
down.
here it comes.
There is a White Lily on the bottom side. FN Sejong was really not bothering with that one at all, but they have traps placed down in strategic locations where that is not going to really matter, right? White Lily from Always Incheon might be
And
the only
Luminal do
way
it.
in. Yep, and they're positioning themselves away from this. There's the White Lily pop, and now the
Oh.
opportunities are lost. About 20 seconds before that's going to pop in.
smart.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, holding until the very last moment. Energy Blast Field is going to be invested. Luminal is locked down!
Oh, he's dead! Oh, he's dead! He's dead! It's over!
And the
It's
record
over!
has been set
In
for
4 games.
FN Sejong has beaten the allegations. If you
It's
join us
over.
in Game 4, you're cooked. No more drops. It's GG's.
It's done! It's done! That's it for phase 2. We're gone!
What the?
2-4 game series. Oh my god! I don't think I would have seen it again. But it's
Never in
happened.
the history. Good night, everyone.
A 4 game series in the ERM of all places. FN Sejong. They're just a step above the rest of these other teams here tonight. Oh my god.
What the hell? Everyone in chat is in shambles, dude. Where are drops, man? I also want my drops too. I only get 2 boxes today. What's going on here? If you watched ERCS earlier today, you might have been able to get another 2-3 if you were watching the entire thing. Wow, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. 4 in KR? In KR.
Right?
Unbelievable.
What a masterclass from FN Sejong. They just came out. They just want to prove, to everyone else that they're just a mile above every other team here today.
I can't believe it. The moment Taejun Cybers fell down, I think this entire lobby was in tatters. There's just no other team that can outrange this Theo. FN Sejong is just too good at controlling the range. You saw what Always Incheon were looking to do, right? It's the flank angle. They were waiting for the White Lily. But Shoichi doesn't have Blink. It's again that darn Blink. He can't get out of the range of the Spark Nade.
And immediately, yeah, exactly. And immediately, one circle just recognizes that Luminal is way too far, way too mispositioned, and just immediately sends the ultimate in. And the speed boost is just way too much. They just catch Luminal out there, and that's it. Once the Shoichi's down, there's not much else the team or the side of team always can really do.
Yeah, at least this wasn't the season finals because people will be pissed, man. They go all the way down to Daejeon just for 4 games for the series to end. But in order for that to not happen again in season finals, teams are going to have to start picking it up. I am amazed that there was no politics at all today. But wow, FN Sejong, they have beaten the allegations. What an amazing set of series from that team, just completely dominating the entire lobby. If it wasn't for game number 3, right? Was it 3? No, game number... Oh yeah, it was 3. If it wasn't for game 3, they would have had a perfect series.
Yeah, it would have been a 4-game sweep, but team Daeyoung Cybers, they were able to get a win upon them at least. So at least it's not a 4-game sweep like
you,
series
right?
that
Yeah, you still hold that title. You still hold that title. So congratulations to you. But KR has finally tied with us, the North American side of things, that a 4-game series in a finals for Eternal Return Masters is
crazy.
possible. Really, yeah. An extended congratulations to that team. They have been in some small turmoils as of late. If you guys know the lore, then you know the lore. If you don't, well, I'm not telling you about it. So yeah, I really want to extend a really big congratulations for this team. Season 6 has been very rough for the team in and of itself, and the fact that they're able to walk out of the phases with this dominating of a performance, their mental state is incredible. The fact that these 3 players have been sticking alongside each other for this long and they're still able to play this good, that is a dream team that you can really think of in even like video games, right? You can't even make this stuff up.
I mean, the fact that it's Mira Sejong or FN Sejong as well, like the script just writes itself, you know? Like this team always makes it to checkpoints so early on. They're always, unfortunately, not able to close out the series, but this time around, they're not going to let that get the better of them. They're just able to win in 4, and yeah, just a masterclass performance.
Yeah, 2 hours, super 2 hours. I know.
Yeah, we're out of here.
A little bit of lore, right? Because we have some time before the score sheet comes up. Super came in. I was messaging Super before we actually started this. Like, I didn't get enough sleep. I'm tired. I told him, hey, surely we had the 3 games.
And I'm like, it's not possible. 4 games maybe, and it actually just ended in 4. So
I'm actually also going to be able to get some sleep in before I have to handle scrims later today for NA. We still have ERCS that is going to be happening tonight for finals.
That is true. Make sure you guys come out. Maybe cheer me on. I'm going to be playing. So come out and watch. ERCS is going to be happening at 7 p.m. EST.
Yep.
You guys want to see our NA talents? You know, we are down to our ERCS finals, so gonna be some fantastic games to watch.
Yeah, please do show up. There's also gonna most likely be the analyst us. I've been having a lot of fun with that before we start. I don't know if there's been too many people watching it, but it's really fun just kind of yapping with Cass. So if you guys want to join us for that as well, please do. If we get any more team poster submissions from any of the NAERCS teams, we might be able to show off those as well. We had some banger ones today.
I saw the I did see
GPT Gobblers one.
No. It was
Oh, you're talking about what is it? Redeemed, Wisu.
Yeah, Leaf 4. That was funny. I think if I remember correctly, one of them said they did it in paint in like 30 minutes. But there was a comment about it, I think in KR, where one of them said like the picture reminded them of
Oh, somebody posted about it in KR already?
Yeah, or like something along those lines is what I heard. Where like one of them said it like reminded them of like a horror picture, you know, where they have like clues and stuff. And I can see it. Not like that was kind of funny.
Yeah, the ones that are just sprawled throughout the entire map, right? Like as you keep playing the horror video game, you just find like drawings from small
clues,
kids.
Yeah.
Jesus
but I mean,
Christ.
it is a bagger. It is a bagger poster, and they did end up making it in. So if you guys want to cheer them on as well, right?
We're going to be able to see the PUBG poster again.
That is true. They are going to be playing tonight. At about
let's see,
14 hours from now. About 13 hours. 14 and a half hours. So if you guys want to come out, so watch them play. They played really well. They had a fantastic final team fight. I think one of them actually disconnected in that final game as well. If you guys were watching the wild cards, and they were still able to win that final team fight. They qualified. So a lot of fantastic teams going to be playing tonight's.
Wait, it was Wisu's team that did that?
Yeah, yeah.
They did that in scrims too. In game number 4, Wisu disconnected, and I think it was who was it? The Mole Divers. They used Lenny to push the Darko into the temporary zone. They were the only team in there, and they came back and won. No, they lost the game, but they managed to somehow res everyone because Wisu was the only one sitting inside, although he was disconnected. That's funny.
Yeah. Someone DC'd, but yeah, they're still able to crawl their way out. So just fantastic gameplay from all these players. Come cheer us all on, Yeah, I'm gonna be playing as well, so if you guys wanna cheer me on. And yeah, I mean, I'm still in shock. 4 games, like we're already done for today. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, you guys have to understand that I've been casting Eternal Return Masters for about 2.5 years now. I think maybe if I was to be a little bit generous, maybe 2. I don't remember when I started doing like the co-streams with Circadia a long time ago when we didn't even have these official English casts, but never in the history of Eternal Return Masters, even during its primitive days when we were talking about Eternal Return League, Eternal Return Champions, or Challengers, I guess it was called when it was ERC. This is the shortest final I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, well, I mean, back then it was like just
pure 6 games.
I didn't have the checkpoint format back then, right? So it's always just 6 games, and the one time we have checkpoint, this is the only time it's been less than one of those normal series because I think the shortest amount we've had in KR was a 6-game series for checkpoint. That was also done by Team FN Sejong, and they just broke the record. 2 games faster in 4 games. I don't think it's possible to get a 3-game series, so I don't think we'll ever see that. But 4 games is definitely doable, and they just came out today. They played their best, and they just completely dominated.
Yeah, it seems like SA and EU are going to have to start catching up. I think there was a series where it could have potentially ended in 4 for EU, but the team that was in the league kind of got rolled over in one of the last few remaining fights. So yes, EU need to catch back up onto the 4-game winning streak when it comes to the series. I think South America also needs to as well.
I mean, I think it's better if a team if a tournament doesn't go to 4 because obviously it just means it's more close and there's more competition in the lobby. But yeah, look at the performance.
2 tiebreakers.
Yeah. 75 and yeah, you're right. 42, 42, 34. Obviously. By the way, that comment before, I'm not saying that there's no competition in KR, but FN Sejong was just a cut above the rest for today.
Yeah, this never in the past, never in the history of Eternal Return Masters have we seen this dominant of a performance in the finals.
I'm gonna correct it. There's no competition for FN Sejong.
Yes,
they just the 4 games,
everyone.
three wins out of 4, and then even the game they didn't win, second place with like 11 kills, and they just got on the checkpoint there.
Their average placement point, let's see, in 4 games they got about 30, so 6 points about on average per game for placement. That is
the other teams didn't even get to checkpoint either. Like, even after that game, like you could look at the scoreboard here, and there's no other team that hit the 55 checkpoint breakpoints. So not only did they win, but they would have had another game to go off of if they didn't, which is crazy. It is crazy to think about. Like, imagine if they just won again. That's like a double checkpoint win.
I don't think that's how we're going to use the double checkpoint system. I'll be real with you, but good stuff for them. And I know somebody in chat made me laugh a little bit. All the luminal hard work from the bottom just for this. Yeah, it's kind of devastating for him, but. As we actually talked about this from the beginning of knockout stage number 1, actually. We talked about this way back last Friday, where during the knockout stages, because a lot of teams aren't going to be acclimated to actually dealing with the Shoichi, of course, when you think about it, even in solo queue, a lot of solo queue ranked players have difficulty dealing with good Shoichi players because they're uncoordinated, they don't know how to deal with it. And that's going to be very similar to a lot of these teams walking up all the way to knockout stages. But as soon as you start getting into knockout stage 5, knockout stage 6, you start seeing the Shoichi struggle. And then the finals, he's definitely going to.
Yeah, just because like the teams up here in the finals are just like, they're just like a cut above the rest, right?
It's like FN Sejong,
Gaeyoung Innates, our 2 solid or our 2 like best front to back teams, right? They're like our best national league teams as well. They've been playing competitive for so long. They're basically all contracted to play, so it's just really hard, right? Especially once your team knows how to play around that Shoichi. It's just really, really hard for Always Incheon to really thrive in this lobby. It's just a little unfortunate, but I mean, still solid placement for them, right? They got 7th place, so they got a lot of placement points for those circuit points, and they are going to be getting a decent amount of money for phase number 2 as well.
Heck yeah. And I think Eternal Return Masters is also one of the few rare games that team roster doesn't really change that often, right? Especially for Mida and Sejong or FN Sejong now. I guess if you want to talk about it that way, I'm kind of encompassing their entire history as a team. I haven't switched any of the players. If anything, they dropped a couple. Like, who was it? Cadmus was dropped from the roster to join a different one. And that's about it. These three have been playing with each other ever since the inception of the team. So,
yeah. I mean, I feel like it's only FN Sejong that's stuck around for so long. They're the only team that's just stuck together. Every other team, they always swap rosters around, right? Because when you're a team like FN Sejong, who basically has, the three almost, I would say like the 3 best players, or like the 3 very, very top players, right? Cream of the crop, like you said. You don't really need to swap your roster around that much, because if you're winning all the time, what's the point, right? Like, don't fix what's well, what's the saying? It's like, don't fix what's not broken.
Yeah, don't fix what ain't broke.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Able to win all these series.
Oh wait, it's flipped. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There you go.
Sounded weird for a second when I said it. It left a bad taste in my mouth.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they're just winning all the series. A lot of the times they're not able to close out the series, but they still look like the best team usually, because they get into that checkpoint break point. They're not able to close it out, but they're still like 2nd place, 1st place in points. So they still always there's a really, really consistent team.
Yeah, and with this series, FN Sejong will finally cement themselves. I think this series alone could finally take away the entire curse of FN Sejong never being able to win in a checkpoint format in a very early checkpoint standing as well, right? Because I said before too, but game number 3, FN Sejong being in checkpoint has happened a dozen number of times. Like, it's happened so many times in the past, and they just keep losing games. And then we go to 7, 8, 9 games, and they still haven't won, only to lose just because of one single game they mess up. This game right here is just going to completely overwrite that history. This is such a monumental moment for them. And if I was going to be honest with you, I think if this series was played offline, there is a possibility that I think the entirety of FN Sejong could have just kind of broken down on camera because of how monumental of a series this is probably for them.
Yeah, a 4-game series is crazy. It's just crazy.
This should have happened.
Who knows?
So long ago,
maybe we'll have that in about 14 hours as well. Very shortly.
Okay.
Maybe we'll have another one. I'm not saying it's gonna be for me, obviously, but like, maybe we might have another 4-game sweep from one of our NA teams.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, so with this performance, I believe FN Sejong should punch their ticket straight into day number 2. I think they also had a pretty solid finish in phase number 1, because they were either in knockout stage 6 or they were in finals. I forget which one. But because of that, they get 2 phase worth of points, and it's going to be quite a lot, because if you're in knockout stage 6, no matter where you place, you get an okay amount. And then obviously we know that Gwangju Slashers won the phase 1 number 1. That's why I'm not saying that they won an insane amount of points. That's a difference. But FN Sejong getting whatever placement post 8th in phase number 1, winning 1st in phase number 2, where you get even more circuit points compared to phase number 1. It's not even a contest.
They should 100% be day number 2 for sure. I wonder what other teams are gonna have, but I think we're gonna have the full overview at the very end here. I mean, it's a 4-game series, so we're gonna stick around with you guys until the very end. Gonna just wait for the interview, because they are doing the interview right now. Probably just talking about the monumental win, just asking them some questions here and there. I mean, if you're FN Sejong, you have to be feeling so good about that, right? They broke the curse. 4-game series. They can all go to sleep, so early, right? You don't have to worry about playing it anymore. Eternal Return for tonight's, and yeah, it's just probably like a great feeling for them.
Yeah, what time is it in Korea right now? I think it's 7:35 p.m. This is probably the earliest they've ever finished any series, quite honestly, for anything, because even season finals start at, I think it's 3 a.m. Central, 3 a.m. Eastern for you. So since there hasn't been ever a 4-game season finals ever,
this genuinely is one of the earliest times that any ERM player is going to be able to go to sleep on. So, yeah, big shout out to FN Sejong. Once again, congratulations. We cannot say it enough times, just knowing your history with this team and my history with this team. I love it. I love the fact that it was this team of all teams to finally get this recognition. So congratulations once again. The interview on that side is done, so we should start seeing numbers very soon. Statistics are pretty nice to see, especially when we don't have to do it on our own.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I've like met them as well, like all of them.
Yeah.
So I just know like how much this like means to them. So
Yep.
they're very happy to see them being the one to take it here, especially like you said, yeah, like their history, right? Just always coming a little short in that series. So
Yeah.
I'm excited though to see which teams are going to be making it to day 2, which teams are going to be making it to day 1.
Let's see.
Oh, here it is. It is going to be Team FN Sejong in first,
Wow.
Ultimates in second with 530, tied with Gangnam Sparkles, and Gang N8 in fourth with 510. And then our 6 teams going to day 1 is going to be Slasher, Cybers, Auto Arms, Tangled WX, Red, Green, and Yellow, and Team Saber.
Do you see the difference between FN Sejong and Ultimate, man?
Oh.
What the hell? That's 360
tie.
points. The full circle around, baby.
Do you see there's a tie?
What's up?
There's a tie between 12th and 13th.
Oh, but Always Engine just plays better.
Yeah,
Oh, dude.
yeah. Unfortunately, Cartel's gonna have to go through the gauntlet. They're gonna have to go through qualifiers. But it's Team Cartel. I'm sure they're gonna be able to make it out.
Yeah, I think this is actually
But
a team
Freya-
that did do LCQ in the past and just kind of breezed through it, so they should be all right.
It's gonna be Freya, Always Incheon, gonna be the ones to get sent to LCQ. They're not gonna have to go through the qualifiers. They're gonna be able to play the LCQ straight off the bat. But yeah, a little unfortunate. Always Incheon. They were able to squeeze out a 12th place with their performance, so not too bad for them, but not the top 10 they're looking for, I think.
Yep.
And yeah, looks like we're going to have the season finals. The LCQ, it's going to be exactly next week from now. It's going to be 5 a.m.
No, not at
5
all.
PM.
It's the same time. It's the same time for
Same time, okay.
Yep. So 3 a.m. Eastern is what we're looking at next Sunday. So make sure you guys are keeping track of the date on that one.
Keep that. Write that down on your calendar. Sunday at 3 a.m. EST.
Yep, we're not watching the qualifiers here because there's, I think, 2 to 3 lobbies. It's really difficult for us to keep track of all of them. So we'll be here for the finals next weekend, just for the LCQ. After that, we got, I think, about a week break and then straight in the season finals. So we still have a lot of stuff to watch for the remainder of the season, everybody. Just because the Phase 2 finals was short with a best of 4 does not mean that this entire season's over. It's not doomed just yet, all right? So make sure you guys are keeping track. All of this stuff on our screen. We got events. We've been talking about it before. There's going to be one more that comes up, and it's about the physical in-person location shenanigans. I know there's been a lot of people on Twitter, the artists, talking about how they managed to get into the night markets. If you guys are interested in buying anything from there, I would highly suggest checking out some of the Korean artists on Twitter. There's been a few of them that's been posting what kind of merch they're going to be selling there. So if you're going to go, or if you can somehow find a way to get a friend or something that's going to go,
buy it for you,
like
maybe
a
strip it
vendor.
back to you.
Make sure you guys check that out.
Make sure you guys check that out. And yeah, this is just like the venue, right, of where it's going to be and everything.
Yeah,
so,
and all the specifics, the early entries, the shuttle bus, yada, yada, yada. We don't need to know about it because they don't send us out.
yeah. So remember, LCQ, Sunday, 3 a.m. EST, and the season finals will be 2 weeks from now. Will be, I think, on the 22nd and 23rd.
No, it's Friday and Saturday because remember how
21st and 22nd.
Before? Yeah.
21st and 22nd is probably going to be at about the same time. I don't know the exact time. Let me actually check that right now for you guys.
I would assume Friday is probably going to be 5 a.m. Eastern because if they're the reason why they changed this format, guys, it used to be Saturdays, Sundays, but back then, what is it?
4.
Oh, is it 4 a.m. now?
It's gonna be 4 a.m. So yeah, 4 a.m. EST on on March 22nd is going to be 1 a.m.
Probably
EST.
earlier. Yeah, I'm not surprised about that one. I remember it being at midnight for me on day number 2 too. Yeah, the
Actually, it's
reason.
just, no. It might be after daylight savings, so it's actually the same time. So it's 5.
Oh, that is true. Right, we're gonna be cresting over the daylight save. Oh, that's gonna be so weird, man. All right. Well, either way, the Friday and Saturday is simply because a long time ago we did have ourselves quite a long season finals, and it was a Sunday night where people had to go home taking the train and all that jazz. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Let me tell you.
We'll just let you guys know again after the LCQ.
Yeah.
You know the time if you guys do end up coming for that, and obviously there will post on the Eternal Return news if you guys ever through that, or the Twitter. Usually they post when the time for ERM is, so make sure you guys are up to date with that. Check out the Twitter and check out the Eternal Return website because news will be posted on there on all the dates and times. And I think with that, you know, the only other thing we could really talk about, like again, another reminder, ERCS is going to be tonight for the finals. It's going to be at 7 p.m. EST.
Yeah, make sure you guys are keeping out for that. And for anyone who is in EU or South America, I think the signups for your respective ERCS is actually going to be going up soon. So make sure you guys keep track of that too. A lot of Eternal Return competitive ahead of us, but that is going to be it from us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry about your drops, but I can't do any more than this. Please stay until the end because we will have the highlights. But we will see you guys next time right here on the Eternal Return game channel for LCQ of Eternal Return Masters. See you guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
새 금지 구역을 지정했습니다. 콘솔 주변이 잠시 후 최종 안전지대가 해제됩니다. 어서 가죠. 다음 스테이지로. 어느 자리에 있든 최선을 다한다고 말했죠?